That was your cue to give us a number, but you don't have to. I know it's a lot.
I'm so busy trying to do the things that keep the viewers coming that I don't. Sometimes I don't look at the stats enough.
All right. Well, with all that said and all the promo stuff out of the way, let's go ahead and talk about the games coming up this week, and we'll start with ours up at the Field of Champions. It's Cherokee County, number 2 in Class 4A in the state, and I think deservingly so, against number 2 Piedmont in 3A, and I'm not sure they belong that high up the chart, but we're going to find out Friday night.
We'll see. Where a team belongs is also has something to do with the other teams that lost or graduated things, and you never know. But yeah, it's going to be a big test for Piedmont. It was so much that they had to replace from last year, and it being this early in the season.
Yeah, I mean, I really think, for all of you avid Piedmont fans out there, this is going to be a process throughout the season to get ready to make that run in November. And I'd never bet against them come November.
Same here. And let's not forget that when Cherokee County beats Piedmont, both teams go to the Super 7. That's historic. That was 2009, and that was last year.
Last year as well. And it's amazing how when you look at the numbers on them from last year, they're so dadgum similar. I mean, Cherokee County finishes 12-3. Piedmont finishes 12-3. They both finish runner-up in the state championship. I mean, identically looking programs will face off, and there you see it on the screen this Friday night up at the Field of Champions.
And Jonathan Miller, that's going to be his debut, his regular season debut as Piedmont's coach, and I think he's going to do a really good job up there. I look forward to seeing what it looks like down the road as he adds to his 100 career wins.
Jonathan to me is kind of hard to put a thumb on. I mean, he's nothing like Steve was. So how does he fit in that culture up there that's been established over the years? I mean, how does he put his soft-spoken ways into place and make it work for him?
By winning and showing organization.
Yeah.
I mean, that's Steve, and this is an undertold story as far as what Steve did up at Piedmont. The athletics director work he took that as seriously as the football coaching, and he was over that program and large and in charge, and that's the thing that Jonathan, I think, is most having to adjust to right now, is because he didn't have those responsibilities at Sachs. So he's having to bring that on and kind of be over the whole athletics department in a way that he never had to do before. But Jonathan's he's a smart guy. He'll figure it out.
Give me a quick key to the game Friday.
I think for Piedmont, getting the crowd involved, and I think the team that wins the line of scrimmage and also that has the most big plays in their offense, I think is going to win the ball game.
Yeah, for me, it's Piedmont can't get behind early. I don't think this is a team in Cherokee County you can easily come back on. I think Piedmont needs to score first. If they could get, like a 10-point lead or something like that early in the game, I think things go a lot better for them.
Cherokee's offensive line against that front seven of Piedmont that he talked about.
Yep, absolutely. And Coach Kelly obviously knows what Piedmont brings to the table. And you will not see a football team anywhere in our part of Alabama that believes they are entitled to win more than the Piedmont Bulldogs. And they've earned that right. It's not just talk.
Yeah, and even though they lost a lot of the kids that had that here, had that program, the kids that are back had all that programming too.
Yeah, absolutely. So, look for it to be an interesting ball game Friday night. All right, what else is on the radar? We talked about Ohatchee and Welborn just a little bit. Oxford's at home against Huntsville. Is that anything other than a Mason Mims show?
I think it's and I picked it as an Oxford win. I think I really like Oxford's skill set this year. They're very intriguing. They got a lot of targets to throw to. In the jamboree against Fort Payne, it was Jaden Lewis and Kamari that transferred from Lincoln last week. It was Nick Richardson all night long. It's kind of pick your poison.
All right, what else is on your list there?
I'll be at Alexandria at Jacksonville. I'm eager to see that group of Jacksonville skill that we were talking about earlier.
I'm interested to see how Alexandria comes back from that bloody nose they got this past Friday night. I mean,
they're going to be hungry.
That is not something that happens to a coached team very often,
and probably not twice. I look for them to be better than they were last week. I still think Jacksonville's the better team.
Yeah, I think so too. All right, what else? What's next?
We talked about Anniston at Andalusia. I think a really good game for teams out down south of here, Central Clay at Benjamin Russell. I saw Benjamin Russell in the FCA 7-on-7 here, and they've got college-looking kids playing their skill positions.
Are you surprised, Joe, that not a lot of people are talking a lot about Clay Central yet?
Well, they lost the running back from last year that really carried them.
Yeah, Terry Heflin.
But Danny's got something coming up. Danny builds a program, not just a team. So
exactly.
They are a team that perpetually plays for November, right? When they won their state championships, they didn't win their region.
Yep.
So
that's right.
This is a team that plays for later. He's building toward the playoffs. He's finding his guys right now.
But don't be surprised if come Friday night when the scores come out on the Bucks Island scoreboard that Central Clay has beaten Benjamin Russell. Don't be surprised.
Maybe. A 7-on-7 is a 7-on-7. I was really impressed with what I saw in Maroon that day. Uh-oh.
All right. Yeah, you turn one of the lights out. We're about to get ready to get dotted out here. All right, next up.
Pleasant Valley at Donahoe, Weaver at Glencoe, and St. James O'Hanley.
Let's talk about Weaver just a minute, because, boy, they came out on fire Friday night, didn't they?
Well, I think they remembered they lost to Donahoe last year.
Yeah.
and too, I mean, we talked to Coach last week. It's just these guys are kind of buying into him. I think he's kind of become an icon out there already. With the push-ups and the sayings. We were talking about their hashtag. He gave us a hashtag last week, didn't he?
Be on that behind.
Be on that behind. But I think
apparently it worked. But they've got one of the area's best players in Caden Gooden too. So I mean, I think obviously he had a really good night against Donahoe, and they go to Glencoe. They go to Glencoe this Friday, and I think that's a game they can win.
I think so too.
And if they go 2-0 out at Weaver after the years they've had, they'll be freaking crazy out there.
They will. They're already pretty excited. Excited about what they have. They might even all just drop down into push-ups.
Ken Kofer is the right medicine for what ailed that place.
That and just some players, physically maturing, I think.
Well, Weaver's always had athletes,
Well, I think they went through a gap there where a lot of their best players graduated at once, and then what came up behind them was really young.
Yeah.
But St. James at Hanley is another interesting game. The defending 3A champion against Hanley. I think that's going to be St. James has a new coach.
Does Hanley win that game?
I picked him to win.
You picked him to win?
Like I said, I buy teams.
I think a home game. I think that's a good pick, Joe.
I think Hanley's solid. I'm telling you, Hanley is going to be one of those teams that is going to be around a long time come November.
And a game that's really intriguing to me is Ohatchee at Welborn. That was, when I did my picks this week, that was the toughest pick. I could come up with good arguments for both of them, and I ended up kind of defaulting to the home team, but it wouldn't surprise me to see Ohatchee win that and in what might be the shortest game all season in terms of elapsed time.
Well, we're getting the wrap-up signal. There's the graphics on the screen that tell us it's time to say goodnight. We have had a great show today. Sorry we couldn't get Anniston in, but trust me, they'll be here before the season's over. I can guarantee you that. See you Friday night at Piedmont.
See you Friday.
And you have a good time up at Jacksonville at that brand new football stadium.
I'll look forward to your insights on the Piedmont Bulldogs next week.
All right, buddy. Well, that's going to do it for us. For the folks behind the scenes, too, Jake running the computer, Alonzo Kirby on the cameras and lights. That's going to do it for us tonight at Struts Wings here in Oxford. We will see you Friday night at the Field of Champions. The countdown to kickoff gets us underway at 6:30. Good night, everybody.
9. Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff.
We come to you from the Field of Champions, where tonight a new chapter in the history of Piedmont football begins, and Jonathan Miller makes his head coaching debut as the Piedmont Bulldogs will open the 2023 season hosting their Highway 9 rival in the Cherokee County Warriors, as both teams coming off of deep runs in the postseason in 2022 look to duplicate that here in the 2023 season. And we welcome you in from the Field of Champions. James Hardy with you. As you see on your screen there, our FNN High School Football Game of the Week presented to you today by Infinity Docks, as they have your boating needs when it comes to boat or shoreline needs throughout the Weiss Lake and really the surrounding area here in Northeast Alabama. And we welcome you in here on the FNN High School Football Game of the Week. James Hardy with you. And as always, riding shotgun with me on the FNN High School Football Game of the Week, our coach, Coach Eddie Bullock. And, Coach, this is a big night tonight because you have two outstanding teams going at it. But also, let's get the elephant in the room out of the way, at least one of the big ones for tonight when it comes to that storyline. A new chapter in Piedmont football when it comes to Jonathan Miller's head coaching debut with Piedmont tonight.
Absolutely. The champ is gone, and the champ is still here. And you got a champ coming down Highway 9, so it's a lot of champions in the place. But I think Piedmont is off to a new era and got a great coach, and it's going to be interesting to see what they do tonight.
Well, obviously, Eddie, you look at what now former coach Steve Smith was able to do here in Piedmont from 2006 to 2022. 5 state championships, those numerous trips to the state championship game, including a season ago, and state championship appearances in 6 of the prior 8 seasons. That's all. Those are some big shoes, Eddie, as far as what Jonathan Miller has to step into as far as just meeting those expectations that have been built here in Piedmont.
Well, most individuals don't know how hard it is just to get to the state championship, let alone win it. So, you know, you're absolutely right. Those are some humongous shoes to fill, and it's going to be interesting again, like I said, to see, you know, what kind of start Piedmont gets off to tonight.
But I remember the late Ray Perkins mentioning something as far as when he took over for Coach Bear Bryant in 1983, as far as him wanting to come into that situation as far as replacing a legend. And even Coach Jonathan Miller mentioned it during the summer as far as Calhoun County Media Days, his appearance and Piedmont's appearance. This is really kind of a new challenge as far as his coaching career, but a challenge he wanted to take on as far as coming from Sachs up Highway 21 here to Piedmont.
Well, anytime you're a competitor, I mean, you want to play the best, you want to get in the toughest situations, you know, and you want to you thrive for those situations. And I mean, you know, it's easy to go out and play teams you can blow out, but you know, you want to step in a situation where you can prove your worth and your quality, you know.
And speaking of competing and proving your worth, that's exactly what Cherokee County did last year under Coach Jacob Kelly get to the state championship game where they ultimately lost to Andalusia. But you look at the roster, Eddie, that's coming back for Coach Jacob Kelly this year. A lot of those players, in fact, key players that returned from a season ago are on this roster. And you look at Cherokee County last week throttling Alexandria, and really the 48-14 final was no indication as far as just how dominant Cherokee County was last week in their season opener. And there are also a lot of expectations just up Highway 9 and Center as far as what Cherokee County can do this year.
Well, they've been to the big dance and won it also. So, my hat's off. But I can tell you this from experience, making it to the championship game, and then once you losing that game, it makes those players a little bit hungry, and they – you learn some things. I tell anybody when you first go in there, man, it's a new experience when you go into, that type of environment trying to play. So, you have to, I think they probably learned a lot and they're probably ready. This year.
And going back to Piedmont as far as filling those big shoes, not only Jonathan Miller has big shoes to fill in the coaching ranks, at quarterback for Piedmont, some big shoes to fill as Jack Hayes out due to graduation. He's playing JUCO baseball up at Snead State, and Cole Wilson will be the starting quarterback with some big shoes to fill. The first time in about 5 years that the Bulldogs will have a new signal caller on the field.
Well, you talking about a guy that got records down there, and I laughed and picked with Coach Smith back when he had Hayes. I told him, I said, guy been playing for you since he been in about the 5th grade. But, he has great shoes to fill. I mean, with Hayes leaving out, I think Hayes got a lot of the passing records in the state.
We still have a lot more to go as far as our countdown to kickoff. James Hardy, Coach Eddie Bullock will have Jim Jacobs join us next as far as looking at some of the big ones from around our area and the state of Alabama next. Infinity Boat Docks presents to you our FNN High School Football Game of the Week from the Field of Champions in Piedmont.
At Farmers and Merchants Bank, we're showing off our school spirit with our newly designed vertical Spirit debit cards. Now, these are customized with your favorite school's logo, and half of every Spirit card purchased goes toward your school. So, show off your colors and support your local school with the FNM Spirit debit card. You can learn more at fnm.bank. Member FDIC.
It's game day, and from all of us at Bucks Island,
from the Loft Tackle Store,
from the team in service,
from the team in parts,
from the sales team,
from the Bucks Island family. Good luck and go get 'em, boys.
Treating our customers the way we want to be treated since 1948. BucksIsland.com or call 1-800-I'm-READY. Let our team help you win on the water.
The Food Barn in Raglan offers the best in good old-fashioned hometown service when you're shopping for groceries, plus the latest ways to get great food specials your way. Click on RaglanFoodBarn.com. Follow the Food Barn on Facebook and listen to the river for weekly specials.
Where you can get everything you need from down on the farm and it won't cost you a leg or an arm.
And they're open 7 days a week. For the best cuts on quality meats, great service, and great prices, it's the Food Barn in Raglan.
The Calhoun County Commission, made up of Fred Wilson, Danny Shears, Carolyn Henderson, Terry Howell, and Lee Patterson, ask you to take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. our beautiful parks, neighborhoods, recreational facilities, historic sites, and museums. Our citizens enjoy a high quality of life and strongly support the arts. If you're considering expanding or starting a new business, take a look at Calhoun County. You'll be glad you did.
Bama Sheds and Pole Barns. Locally and family owned with the best customer service. Custom built to fit your needs with free delivery and setup. Design and price online or stop by and see what we can do for you. Nobody beats our prices and nobody beats our quality. Built in Alabama, made in Alabama. BamaSheds.com.
Infinity Docks presents our FNN High School Football Game of the Week as our countdown to kickoff continues. From the Field of Champions, James Hardy, Coach Eddie Bullock, and our own Jim Jacobs joins us because we have a big one tonight, but starting to see some even better matchups form as far as our big ones around the Yellowhammer State.
Man, is it crazy or what? I mean, we're in week 1, and I want you to look at these games we have to talk about today. Let's start with this one right here, Coach. This one is old school here.
Yeah, absolutely. You got two traditional programs. I mean, very traditional programs. You know, you got Alexandria, you know, which pretty much bagged by the ghost out there, you know, Coach Gideon, and then you got Coach Smith up at Jacksonville, you know, and I think this is going to be a great one.
You know, Coach, I wonder how much Alexandria has, how quickly can they recover from the bloody nose they got last Friday up at Cherokee County?
It's tough, man, and, you know, I actually got a chance to see the game, you know, myself, and it was something serious. I mean, Cherokee County just kind of did what they wanted to, and it's going to be tough, man. You got to go in and try to get a big speech, man, and try to get them back up, you know, but I think they can be capable. Coach Gee and Todd out there, he can get them back up if anybody can do it.
James, probably the best quarterback in the area, and Jim Ogle will suit up in the gold and blue tonight, and my guess is that he's going to have a pretty good evening.
I would agree, and certainly the most experienced quarterback in our area, and especially at home, a final tune-up before region play begins. I think this is a good opportunity if Jacksonville comes ready to play for them to pick up a solid victory tonight.
Are we all on board for Jacksonville?
Yes.
I agree.
All right. Next up for us tonight, here's another good one. Anniston and Andalusia. Eddie, we obviously won't make you pick, but we sure want to know what you think about it.
Well, it's a rematch of last year. And hey, listen, you talking about some football, or, you know, just on behalf of Anniston, I think they should be hungry to go down there, you know, because they had that game well under control last year, and then to lose it can be tough. But, you know, on the flip side, you got Andalusia, who are the defending champs, and it's tough to go in and beat a champ at home, you know, so it's going to be interesting.
Eddie, I think what's the most important thing for Anniston to do tonight, you know, win or lose, and I don't think most people have them picked to win, they just got to take this as an opportunity to see exactly where they are at this point in the season with a new coach and a new system.
Right, and Jim, I think it's hard, you know, this early to see where you are, because normally I used to take a measurement, you know, like during the summer, and then after about game 5, I kind of knew where I was. But, hey, this is a tough team to try to get a measuring stick on right here. You're talking about the defending champs, so it's going to be extremely interesting, and it's going to be tough. Now, like I said, you got to beat the champ, you got to knock them out.
Yep, to beat a man, you got to beat the man.
That's right.
Everybody's on board here for Andalusia. I'll just go ahead and push the button. Here's another good one, Eddie, and this one might be the upset alert of the night. Defending state champs in Class 3A, traveling into Hanley to take on the man.
Absolutely, and again, you're talking about two very upstanding programs, two hard-nosed football teams, but, you know, one thing on St. James' side is that, you know, they're the defending champs again, you know, in 3A, and, you know, they're looking at, you know, one classification above them, and, you know, to them, that doesn't really matter. So I'm kind of with you. This can easily be a trap game for Hanley. You know, I'm kind of leaning toward St. James.
All right, James, what do you think?
That's not a bad pick, but I think with the physical play, the offensive and defensive lines that Handley has returning, and the home field advantage, I think Handley, it's a close one, but Handley comes out on top.
I like the Tigers by 2. How about that?
Hey, close enough.
Here's another interesting game tonight. Ohatchee looked really good when we saw them last Thursday, guys. Walter Welborn played tough at Anniston. Had them by they were tied at 16 at the half before the Bulldogs pulled away in the second half on the shoulders of J. Money Lewis. All right, here we go. Hard-nosed football on the hill. Ohatchee and Walter Welborn, what you think, Coach?
Well, I think Welborn may not have enough skilled people to pull it out. You know, I love Coach Jeff Smith. You know, that's my buddy now. We talking all, but, you know, I just think Ohatchee, I think both teams are going to be extremely physical. My question is just whether or not Welborn has enough skilled players to make enough plays to pull it out, you know. So I'm kind of leaning toward Ohatchee going in there and probably pulling it out.
I'm with Eddie for pretty much the same reasons. I was very impressed with what I saw from Ohatchee last week. And for that reason and for the momentum they're building, I'm going with the Indians.
Yeah, sorry, Coach Smith. Roll Tribe. All right, here's next. Coosa Christian at Spring Garden. These two played last year late in the season. Coosa Christian advanced, I believe it was a quarterfinal game. But you know, Coosa Christian got bloodied up pretty good by Geraldine last week. What do you think about this one, Coach?
Well, I think they're going to go in, and I think Spring Garden got something on their mind. I think they may get blooded up a little bit more tonight. You know, I think Spring Garden is kind of putting some things together, and I'm kind of leaning toward them at home. I think they're going to do enough, you know, to be comfortable to pull it out at home.
Spring Garden is also in a coaching transition, and Coosa Christian, as y'all mentioned, tough opening week last week. I think even on the road, Coosa Christian bounces back and gets a W.
I'm with Spring Garden all the way, guys. Go Garden, go. All right, next up for us tonight, Weaver. Very impressive this past Friday night. The Ken Kofer era gets underway with a win at Donahoe, but Glencoe ain't Donahoe, Coach.
Absolute. Glencoe is no Donahoe. So I think Weaver probably going to They probably gonna get punched in the mouth tonight. You know, I don't think it's gonna be a complete blowout, but I kind of got Glencoe maybe by 10, 12 points.
You know, it's interesting that this is, you know, the second year with Scott Martin up there now, and we know how he, you know, likes to play physical,
absolutely
misdirection football when he's got it on offense. That ugly Eagle deal, and I don't know. I just got a feeling that Weaver has brought something to the table this year, and that Coach Kofer has kind of worked up a little magic potion. I like Weaver tonight on the road, Coach.
Okay.
I think Caden Gooden is the best player in this matchup for Weaver, and that's going to be the difference tonight. So I'm going to go with Jim, and I'm going to go with Weaver on the road.
All right, next up, boy, this is an interesting one right here. Both teams coming off losses last week, but Leeds didn't expect to lose to Mortimer Jordan. Pell City, everybody thought would get trounced at Moody, and instead, Eddie, they went in there and, you know, float like a butterfly, sting like a bee, and almost upset one of the top teams in Class 5A.
And I attribute that to the, you know, experience and the, you know, that Coach Probst had. You know, he know all the tricks of the trade. You know, he know how to do little mental things, you know, and of course he know the X's and O's. He know how to do that, you know, and that's what's so difficult about this game. I really think Leeds is probably the more talented team, but my question is whether or not they can go in, you know, because Coach Probst's wheels are always turning. So I'm tending to believe Pell City is probably going to win a close one at home. I think they may do enough to pull it out.
What do you think, James?
I think with the energy and momentum that they got out of last week, even though it was a narrow loss, arguably a game they should have won at Moody, I think with the energy and being with the home fans behind them, I think Pell City wins tonight.
You know, you've got two really good coaches going at one another here. I was super impressed with Propst's game plan for Moody last week. I mean, the X's and O's of that thing, Eddie, I mean, they had Moody down 10-0 before you could blink.
Well, you had them off balance.
Yeah, exactly. Lots of different things. All right, well, we've got the anthem coming up, getting ready to do that right now. There you see Old Glory in the background as we'll pause and take a listen to our national anthem.
Our national anthem from the Field of Champions here in Piedmont, as it is the Bulldogs season opener tonight, as we continue with a look at our big ones from around our area and around the state of Alabama.
All right, who we picking here, guys? Leeds or Pell City?
I know I had Pell City. I'm not sure who Coach Eddie had.
I'm going with Pell City at home.
All right. Well, I'm just to be different, I'll say Leeds, but I think it's a 3-point game either way.
Right.
All right, Fort Payne at Etowah. Boy, I tell you what, Etowah got surprised last Thursday on their trip to Springville.
I think they were very much surprised, and you know, I think if they don't get it together, they may be surprised again tonight because I think Fort Payne has a good team and they got a good tradition there, you know. So, hey, I wouldn't be surprised if Fort Payne go in there and you know, sneak out a close one.
In fact, it looks as if gathering at midfield for our captains meeting and toss of the coin are our captains from Piedmont and from Cherokee County, as our coin toss presented to you by Freaks Detailing, the detail shop that cares.
All right, I'm with Lindsay there. Ray Lindsay, referee. Ray Lindsay, referee. Hey guys, you guys are chosen as captains, your leaders of your team. If something happened on the field, we need to ask a captain, was offense or defense, whichever one of you out here, you need to come in. The umpire and I will explain to you what we have, and then make a decision on what you're going to do. You can look back to your sideline, look to your coach, and then take guidance from there. We have a regular A, S-H-A-A coin, which is heads, and tail is the federation. All right? You're the visitor, you want to call. What did he call? Tails it is. You want the coin toss, what you want to do? You want to defer. So he deferred. That means you want the ball, right? Okay. Which way you want to kick?
We'll defend the scoreboard. We'll kick that way.
They're going to kick, just come around this way. All right, shake.
There you see the captains from Cherokee County, Jacob Carnejo, along with Zach Gaylor, two of those three captains for Cherokee County. Luke Reinhardt, along with Cole Wilson and Chance Murphy, your trio of captains for Piedmont. As there you see the Piedmont Bulldogs about ready to enter the playing surface of the Field of Champions for the first time under head coach Jonathan Miller. And as we look ahead and close in on kickoff, Coach, some of your keys, especially for Piedmont tonight.
Well, I think Piedmont going to have to limit the big plays. Cherokee County likes to run the football and very capable of making big plays. So I think, Piedmont is going to have to weather the storm, and being at home with the home crowd, and then, of course, they're going to have to limit the penalties.
And likewise for Coach Jacob Kelly's Cherokee County Warriors, your keys for Cherokee County tonight.
Well, I think Cherokee County going to have to come in and they're going to have to fight tradition. They got a great program, but, they won the coin toss, and I think they need to come in and make a statement on defense. And, of course, they you don't want to get too many penalties. You want to take care of the football, and they're going to have to win the battle at the line of scrimmage.
The Cherokee County Warriors come out onto the field when it comes to the Field of Champions, and both of these teams making deep runs in the playoffs last season as the Piedmont Bulldogs come out onto the field for the first time in the 2023 season. A record of 12-3 under the final year of Coach Steve Smith with a state championship game appearance in Auburn a season ago. So it should be a good matchup as we are closing in on kickoff. As our game tonight presented to you by our good friends at Infinity Boat Docks. And certainly, speaking of good friends, we've got a nice little viewing party going on just up Highway 9 today, up at Easy Street in Center, Alabama. So certainly a big shout out to our folks up in Cherokee County at Easy Street. As you also heard, as far as our streets detailing coin toss, it was Cherokee County winning the toss, and they decided to defer their option until the second half. So, Eddie, we're going to immediately see the first starting quarterback for Piedmont in about 5 years, because Jack Hayes had started for the Piedmont Bulldogs since his 8th grade year.
Absolutely. I was joking again, like I said, with Coach Smith, and I told him, I said, hey, your kid been starting since the 5th grade. But, yes, it's going to be interesting to see him go out there and, try to fill Hayes' shoes. Ben
Frampton kicks off as we are underway from the Field of Champions, as Piedmont will get a little bit of running room. Not a whole lot, however, as Raleigh Pinto takes the opening kickoff of the season for Piedmont across the 25-yard line. And so they're going to start their first offensive possession of the regular season, because they did have a Jamboree matchup at Fife last week and actually played pretty solidly, the varsity playing for the first half of that Jamboree, and they were neck and neck with the dominant 2A program in Fife. So certainly kind of a good footing for Coach Jonathan Miller's squad last week, as they'll take the field, will the Piedmont offense, as Alabama's conservative Republican leader, Congressman Mike Rogers, presents our starting lineups, which we'll get into here after this opening play. Cole Wilson will flip out to the near side, complete to Bethel, as he'll try and come to the near side and breaks a tackle across the 30 and gets snowed under about the 34-yard line. Solid athletic maneuver that time, as taking a look at the Piedmont starting lineup. As there you see Congressman Mike Rogers presenting our starting lineups. It'll be Dontavius Jordan, who missed much of last season due to injury, starting at running back. Also, Jalen Helm will be alongside him at back, as a quick throw over the middle is incomplete. Intended receiver was Raleigh Pinto, one of those three starting receivers, as we also saw Ishmael Bethel, the junior receiver, make the first catch of the season for Piedmont. McLean Mohan, the other receiver for Piedmont. Starting offensive line, Sam Tolbert, along with Tanner Curvin, Jonah Pike, Chris Harris, and also Noah Farmer from left tackle to right tackle, as the throw to the far side is deflected and incomplete. Aggressive and excellent defensive play that time by Tripp Davis, the cornerback from Cherokee County, as that was a third down play, and let's see, might have had a flag on the play as well.
Well, it was almost picked off right there. You had them in cover two. They run a 3-4 defense, and it was almost a pick play.
And indeed was a flag on the play, as I believe it was a dead ball false start penalty, and so they're going to move that penalty yardage back. And so it's going to be was a third down and 4 originally.
Well, they declined it.
Good call there, Eddie, and the obvious call, of course, to make from Coach Jacob Kelly, as the penalty declined, and it'll be punting time for Piedmont. So retreating the punt away will be Caden Cardelli, one of two Cardelli brothers on the roster for Piedmont. And so you'll have dual returners in Luke Young and Carson Chestnut for Cherokee County, as that's a low spinning line drive, as that'll get a lateral roll at the 40 and down at the Cherokee County 39-yard line.
It was almost blocked, James, so don't be surprised if you see some kind of punt block situation put on by Cherokee County, because the left side protector got back there pretty easily.
Infinity Boat Docks presents our game and our first quarter, as they have all of your boating and shoreline needs taken care of for the greater Weiss Lake and surrounding areas. Getting the start at quarterback, his debut start as well for Cherokee County is Carson Tittle, the transfer from Ohatchee. As he'll have Cornejo alongside him, and Cornejo with a big hole off right guard as he'll advance across the 45 to about the 47-yard line for Cherokee County. We'll also see some Keyshawn Woods in the backfield, where receivers of Alex Johnson and Ben Frampton. H-back, also a tight end position, is Alex Lloyd, and we'll also see some Ben Mosley at tight end. Along the offensive line, Zach Gaylor at left tackle, Cooper Martin left guard, Antonio Hernandez at center, Blake Butts at right guard, and Landon Ransom at right tackle. It'll be a second down and 2 yards to go off of Cornejo's 8-yard gain. As Cornejo up the middle, he'll have the first down and a lot more as he's deep into Piedmont territory and drags the tackler with him at the 21. And Coach Eddie Bullock wants a horse collar flag.
Absolutely, you got it. I seen it all the way. He rode him about 7-8 yards. So,
as indeed, there is that horse collar flag, as we'll take a second look at that first down run of the ball game, thanks to iCare Alabama.
And if you look right there, you see that horse collar right there. And he clearly grabs him, and, that's actually a dangerous play right there. You can grab the horse collar, but, I used to teach my guys to make sure they let it go before they take him to the ground.
Also, Morrow Tire presenting our second look as far as Jacob Cornejo's big first down run and opening first down run that time. So with the horse collar tackle, a half the distance to the goal penalty. So this is the first red zone opportunity as Cornejo bangs his way up the middle inside the 10 to about the 5-yard line.
Yeah, Cornejo, he seems to be just picking and choosing and getting great blocking at the line, and you can see right now Cherokee County is dominating the line of scrimmage.
Morrow Tire presenting that second look, as this is also the first Ethan Rogers Alpha Insurance Agency of Piedmont red zone opportunity for either team.
Well, you see power left and the power formation there.
Pistol backfield. Yes, right now Cherokee County going right downhill as Cornejo off right guard as he's tripped up. Excellent tackle that time in the backfield by Piedmont's Trevor Pike, saving a touchdown.
Absolutely, that's a great play. He kind of shot the gap right there. You see the safety shoots the gap. This makes a great play right there. It had a hat on a hat.
So it's going to be third down. And still a first down can be made, as you saw the Morrow Tire second look off of Trevor Pike's tackle. Third down and 4 from the 5. Line to reach for the first down is the 1. Pistol formation, as this is the opening drive of the game for Cherokee County. Here's the snap, and Cornejo gets the call off the right side, and he's pretty much bobbled up for about a 1-yard gain. As here you see a couple of tacklers, Caleb Tidwell and Brody Hemsley, the linebackers, helping out on the tackle. So going to be an interesting decision here for Coach Jacob Kelly, as it appears that a bit more beef coming in on the fourth down and about 3. So Cherokee County can still get their first down without having to score a touchdown.
Let's see if he try to run it wide, if he going to just try to pull him offside.
Woods also in the game as Cornejo, direct snap off the right side, and he bangs his way toward the end zone and in for the touchdown.
Well, that's how you get it done, James. You got quarterback is unaccounted for, so
that's going to be a 4-yard touchdown run for Jacob Cornejo, his first touchdown of the ball game. A Morrow Tire and Auto's second look.
That's just student body left. You see all these guys blocking down, and
And then Cornejo doing the rest on a 4-yard touchdown run. PAT coming up from Frampton. That is up, and that is off to the left. No good. Infinity Boat Docks presents our first quarter and our game tonight here at the Field of Champions. Let's take the time out with Cherokee County on top. Cherokee County drives down the field and scores on a 4-yard touchdown run by Jacob Cornejo on 4th down and 3, as we'll have a Law Pools kickoff for Cherokee County, their second kickoff of this first quarter. Frampton kicks it end over end as it's a loose ball around the 15-yard line, as it'll be Piedmont picking it up going to the far side. Pinto, as he'll get a pretty good return off a scramble situation, and so it'll be Piedmont with their best starting field position early on so far, around the 36-yard line or so, 1st down and 10.
And actually, James, that's the hardest kind of kickoff, either punt or kickoff recovery, to cover when there's a mistake like that, because you got your lanes and, you got some guys that actually overrun it once they miss catching the football, and it actually, once you get it, it opens it up for the returner.
We'll take a look at the Cherokee County defensive starters after this 1st and 10 play for the Piedmont Bulldogs. Here's the keeper for Cole Wilson. A good, excellent fake that time, as he'll get good yardage out of bounds at the far boundary from us. Around the 38-yard line, another Morrow Tire and Auto second look at that zone read keeper.
Well, when you see the defensive end crash down like that, or some people call him defensive tackle, once he come down and take the dive, it's an automatic pull.
Piedmont wasting no time as Wilson back to throw, lofts it down the field, has a receiver behind the defense and caught. This is going to go. Touchdown, Ishmael Bethel.
Oh, that's great. You seen him. He had him beat from the line of scrimmage.
A second look by Morrow Tire and Auto, and a pretty pass play that time. Cole Wilson's first touchdown pass of the season and as a starting quarterback for Piedmont.
Absolutely. That was an excellent throw, excellent catch. He put that right on the money.
That's going to cover 62 yards from Wilson to Bethel as the PAT coming up. It'll be Chase Cardelli on the PAT. Kick is up, and the kick is good. So we'll take the timeout. Piedmont in the lead, up 7-6 still early on here in the first quarter on the FNN High School Football Game of the Week, brought to you by Infinity Docks.
That Joe Biden and Hunter Biden were paid $10 million in bribes.
The floodgates are literally open here.
Mike Rogers is standing up to crooked Joe Biden in D.C. Mike Rogers is our way of fighting back.
Chase Cardelli for the Piedmont Bulldogs set to boot it away as the first Law Pools kickoff this evening for Piedmont, as Chase Cardelli gets the end-over-end kick to the far side. It'll be the Warriors trying to advance it, but good, solid kick return coverage by Piedmont, as it'll be 1st down and 10 coming up, as Luke Young taking the kickoff that time for the Cherokee County Warriors, and we'll take another Morrow Tire and Auto second look at a picture-perfect pass from Cole Wilson.
And if you look at him right there, I mean, his demeanor, you see him stepping up in the pocket, and it just looked like he just got great pause. And if you look right there, he has about 2-yard step on the defensive back, and there's no catching him once he get behind him. I mean, he never had to break stride.
Cooper Rogers, the man that was beaten, the safety for Cherokee County, as here comes Carson Tittle, and the Cherokee County offense, as it'll be to give to Cornejo. Bottled up initially up the middle, bounces it off of right tackle that time and gets to about the 20-yard line. So a solid first down carry that time of 5 yards, original line of scrimmage at the 15-yard line. We haven't taken a look at the Piedmont defense yet, as Chance Murphy, one of the top returners from the last couple of years for Piedmont, anchoring that defensive line at defensive end. Fisher Adams at nose tackle, and Dalton Griffith at defensive end, one of the strongest units on the team, according to Coach Jonathan Miller. It'll be a second down and 5 coming up. Cornejo already with a touchdown so far, as he'll get the call off the right side on the sweep play, and good pursuit and good cutback that time by Cornejo, picking up the first down.
Well, he know what he's doing with the football, because he's reading those holes. He's getting them big bodies out in front of him. They just block, and he pick and choose the avenues he want to run.
I Care Alabama brings to you every first down for both teams, with locations in Atala, Piedmont, Heflin, and Roanoke. Quality eye care close to home. Infinity Docks presents our game tonight and also our first quarter. Second first down of the game, thanks to Cornejo, as he'll just lower his head off of right end. As he'll get across the 30 to about the 31-yard line. Looking at the rest of the Piedmont defense, at linebacker, you'll have the outside linebackers of Cale Austin and Caleb Tidwell. Middle linebackers, inside linebackers of Luke Reinhardt and Brody Hemsley. Corners of Demetrius Owen and Davion Stitz, and the safeties Raleigh Pinto and Trevor Pike.
James, I can see the game plan right off the bat, that he's running to the right side, so he has those big bodies on the right side, and what they're doing is they're just wearing them down. They're gonna make them man on man all night.
Carson Tittle has yet to throw a pass so far for Cherokee County, as it's been all Jacob Cornejo so far.
Well, when you got a back like Cornejo that's running that football, there's no need to throw it.
You have a pistol set, couple receivers to the far side. Snap, and the gift to Cornejo, going right up the middle. He'll break out of the pile and get the Eye Care Alabama first down, closer to midfield at the Cherokee County 47-yard line.
This kid is probably over 100 yards already.
I tell you what, he's already looking like Eddie Cornejo, one of the top running backs in Class 4A. And a big reason why, with his late development last year, why Cherokee County made it with an opportunity to win a blue map in Auburn last year.
Well, you can tell he know what he's doing with the football. He know how to read his blocks. He's not too early. He wait and let the play develop. And, good-looking body. You can tell he's in shape, so he don't mind,
Tittle with the quarterback keeper, as he'll get right to midfield. And that's going to set up about a second down, and we'll say about 7 yards to go. A gain of about 3 yards on the play, as we'll have an official timeout on the field. A heat timeout with 5:57 remaining opening quarter. Infinity Docks presents our first quarter and our FNN High School football game of the week.
Your neighborhood Grub Mart is your one-stop shop for everything you need when you're on the go. Grub Mart features the best prices on Coke and Pepsi products and is the home to the 99-cent bag of ice every day. And Grub Mart is your exclusive home for the popcorn bucket. Purchase yours for only $5.99, then bring it for free refills throughout the year. And save every day with your Grub Mart Super Saver card. When you're on the go, it's good to know Grub Mart has everything you need. Gas, diesel, and delicious Oleo donuts. In business over 78 years, visit your local Grub Mart today.
Out of the heat timeout, It'll be a 2nd down and 7 officially right at midfield for Cherokee County. As Cornejo on the call, as he'll go off of right tackle and get into Piedmont territory inside the 45 to the 44. So both teams able to score so far in the first quarter. Cornejo on a 4-yard touchdown run. And also you have Cole Wilson with his first touchdown pass of the season to Ishmael Bethel of 62 yards. It'll be a 1st down and 10, as that was enough to move the sticks on an iCare Alabama 1st down as Cornejo up the middle, as he'll get a couple of yards on the play.
I believe that's Tay Diamond running in the backfield right now.
I'm glad you saw that, because, we did see a little bit of Tay Diamond last year, and you are correct. Now I do see him, as you get used to calling Cornejo's name, and now, at least wisely so, not only tonight, but over the course of the season, at least Coach Jacob Kelly looking to develop somebody as that backup to kind of at least carry the load in the backfield for Cherokee County.
That's a good guy to have replacing,
Tay Diamond, an all-state defensive end last year, as he'll once again get the call. As Eddie pointed out, has gotten all of the carries so far on this drive, as he'll get into, or at least inside, the Piedmont 40-yard line to the 37. Tay Diamond just kind of slipped in there all of a sudden, but so far showing some good work as far as the running back position, but it's his meat and butter as far as his contribution to the Warriors football program on the defensive side of the ball.
Well, he's a great guy to put back there to give Cornejo a break right there, and then you get the workhorse right there, and then he does what he do. He knows how to move the sticks.
And there's Cornejo as he's going off of right guard inside the 35, and still spots the ball at the 32-yard line for another iCare Alabama 1st down.
Cherokee County has those massive bodies on the right side right there, so, hey, he got all the protection he needs.
Of course, we can talk about iCare Alabama, Dr. Mohan and company, with locations all across this area of Alabama: Atala, Piedmont, Heflin, and Roanoke, with quality eye care close to home. Give up the middle to Cornejo, as he'll get maybe back to the line of scrimmage. Solid defense from Trevor Pike, Chance Murphy, and others for Piedmont. Also, we'd like to remind you, as far as our season coverage of the FNN High School Football Game of the Week, brought to you by our friends at Victory Law. And so the defense for Piedmont looking to stiffen up here, as they've given up some real estate, with the drive originally beginning at the 15-yard line for Cherokee County, as we'll have a whistle to blow the play dead and a flag on the play. And that'll be a false start, as, by the way, our head referee, Ray Lindsay from the Alabama High School Athletic Association.
Now you may see a pass right here. 2nd and long, you may see him try to get.
Well, officially the ball at the 37-yard line, and will be a 2nd down and long yardage situation. Right now, both teams have been able to move the ball, at least methodically, on the ground for Cherokee County, exclusively on the ground, and then a quick strike for Piedmont on their last offensive drive. Here's the give to Cornejo off the right side, as he gets excellent blocking into the open field and gets inside the 30, close to the 20-yard line. And that should be good enough for another iCare Alabama 1st down.
Well, if you see him again right here, you're going to watch him come off. You see those two guys pulling right in there, and you're going to see him follow those guys. And, he put that hand down the running back drill, and it's just hard to bring him down.
Morrow Tire and Auto, once again with our second look, as Jacob McElroy off the bench coming in on the tackle. As Cherokee County will just plod right on in to that offensive line off the right side. As Cornejo, the workhorse so far, as we've seen Tay Diamond get about 3 or 4 carries so far on this drive as well. We're under 2 minutes remaining in the opening quarter. Infinity Boat Docks with your boating and shoreline needs all throughout Northeast Alabama, bringing you our first quarter. As Cornejo, a nice stutter step, but even better discipline as far as the tackling that time that we see from, looks like Luke Reinhardt, the linebacker for Piedmont on the tackle.
Well, they're running a little trap right there. They're trying to trap the one technique. They're blocking back on the nose guard, and they're trying to trap the one technique. And, you know, I love the way Cornejo lets the block develop, and then he gets up in there. You know, he don't rush anything. He just kind of take his time, you know. They got those foot-to-foot splits, so you know they're going to pound it up in there.
Keyshawn Woods also in the game for Cherokee County at a running back spot. This will be 3rd and 3, line to reach the 10 for the first down. Also, another red zone opportunity as here's Woods off the right side going, check Woods indeed, into the end zone. Touchdown for Cherokee County.
Well, it's just power right there. If you look at the replay, right here, it's just body on body right there. And he just let it develop. You know, Cornejo got a good block right there, and he just run it in.
There you see the Morrow Tire and Auto replay at that Woods 13-yard touchdown run and another successful Ethan Rogers Alpha Insurance Agency red zone trip for Cherokee County. So it'll be Frampton missing his first PAT. He'll have a second chance at it. Low snap, good hold though, and a better kick this time as the PAT is up and good. We'll take the timeout. Cherokee County leading 13-7 here on the FNN High School Football Game of the Week, brought to you by Infinity Docks.
Bama Sheds and Pole Barns. Locally and family owned with the best customer service. Custom built to fit your needs with free delivery and setup. Design and price online or stop by and see what we can do for you. Nobody beats our prices and nobody beats our quality. Built in Alabama, made in Alabama. BamaSheds.com.
An 85-yard touchdown march that time for Cherokee County as they retake the lead at 13-7, with Keyshawn Woods scoring his first touchdown of the night as Frampton boots it away. A Law Pools kickoff for Cherokee County as Raleigh Pinto getting good blocking off the right side, and another good kickoff return as this time he'll advance it across the 40-yard line to about the 43.
Absolutely, that was a great kickoff return right there. He counted, you know, and Piedmont has some speed now. You see some explosiveness out of a couple of players there.
FNN Bank, longtime partners of ours here at FNN, presents you our season coverage here of the FNN High School Football Game of the Week. It'll be Cole Wilson coming back out, operating in the shotgun. And there you see two receivers to our far side. As it'll be the keeper for Wilson. Finds some good blocking that time, at least adjusts where the play was going, finds a hole, and gets close to midfield. Very nicely done that time. As we'll see our Morrow Tire and Auto replay, Coach.
Well, he's kind of nifty right there. He put the zone read in, and he pulls it. He starts to his left, which is not designed to go left. It's actually designed for him to originally go right, but I think he saw it a little clogged up, so he decided to go back to where he should have went in the first place.
Trips receivers to the far side as we are to the end of the first quarter, brought to you by Infinity Boat Docks. As it's been a back-and-forth first quarter so far, Cherokee County leading after one 13-7 from the Field of Champions here at Piedmont on the FNN High School Football Game of the Week presented by Infinity Docks.
The Calhoun County Commission, made up of Fred Wilson, Danny Shears, Carolyn Henderson, Terry Howell, and Lee Patterson, ask you to take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. Our beautiful parks, neighborhoods, recreational facilities, historic sites, and museums. Our citizens enjoy a high quality of life and strongly support the arts. If you're considering expanding or starting a new business, take a look at Calhoun County. You'll be glad you did.
At Farmers and Merchants Bank, we're showing off our school spirit with our newly designed vertical Spirit debit cards. Now, these are customized with your favorite school's logo, and half of every Spirit card purchased goes toward your school. So, show off your colors and support your local school with the FNN Spirit debit card. You can learn more at fnn.bank. Member FDIC.
Tonight's FNN Game of the Week is sponsored in part by Advantage Tire and Alignment, Raglan Food Barn, Couches Jewelers, Law Pools and Patio, Ron's Good Barbecue and Cutter's Pizzeria, and by attorney Stephen R. Morris. Now, back to more of tonight's Game of the Week on FNN.
I should tell my team where the fullback go, he's going to take you to the football.
It'll be a first down, as Carson Tittle has yet to throw a pass so far this evening. Here's play action. Tittle tosses high and incomplete. Off the hands that time of his intended receiver, as it'll be a second down and 10 coming up. Ben Mosley, the tight end, the intended receiver.
Well, he had a man open right there. He just threw it a little bit high. His release was a little bit high. Mechanics, he gotta stand tall and get that ball over his ear there. See, the ball kind of sailed on him a little bit.
That's exactly what I was thinking, is there you see both Pike and the cornerback Demetrius Owen in coverage for Piedmont. So second down and 10. Football right at the 20 as there's the pitch to Carnejo as he'll lower his shoulder and get about a couple of yards. Good, solid pursuit. Pike helping out on the play. And you also had for Piedmont, Cale Austin helping out on the tackle. So it's going to set up a third down and 9 to go. So just maybe about a yard and a half that time. So the line to reach the first down, the iCare Alabama first down, will be the 30-yard line, their own, for the Cherokee County Warriors.
Well, Piedmont safety did a good job running the alley. He was the only block that was unaccounted for, and he came down and made a great play. That's what you do. Once you rerun, you come down. You just have to slow play it though, because you'll see that toss and you may see them slip somebody out and throw it behind you.
3rd and a long 8, and we'll have our first timeout called for by either team. The first for Cherokee County, and we'll take a timeout with them here on the FNN High School Football Game of the Week, brought to you by Infinity Docs.
Advantage Tire and Alignment on Highway 202 in Anniston is so much more than just a new tire and rim shop. There's not enough time in this ad to tell you all the many things they can do to help keep your car in tip-top shape. Advantage Tire uses ASE certified technicians, so you know any work done is top-notch. Bottom line, if it needs repaired or replaced, they can probably do the job and save you money. And when it comes time for new or used tires and rims, Advantage Tire and Alignment prices just can't be beat. Stop in and see Bruce and the crew today. Advantage Tire and Alignment.
Infinity Docs brings you our FNN High School Football Game of the Week. That's also Duggar Mountain Chocolate and Firearms brings you our second quarter. And here's play action for Tittle. He'll stop, looks for a receiver, under pressure, and going down inside the 15-yard line as Chance Murphy, the top defender on this Piedmont squad, on the sack.
Well, it's a great job by Piedmont, but I think he probably held on to it too long. He had a couple of guys. He had the fullback in the flats, and he had a receiver coming across the middle that was open, and I just think he didn't pull the trigger.
Morrow Tire and Auto bringing you another look at that Chance Murphy sack by Piedmont as he'll get some good field position with a Cherokee County punt upcoming. Blake Butts standing in his own end zone for Cherokee County. Gets a low line drive spiral. That'll go across the 40 and a solid Cherokee County roll as it'll land at midfield and get touched there, but outstanding field position and the best starting field position coming up tonight for Piedmont. And I've been very impressed with what we've seen so far. Very first start as a varsity quarterback for Cole Wilson for Piedmont, but Jonathan Miller told me during the week, this is a quarterback that can make all the throws, and we've seen some of that tonight, Eddie.
Well, and I like the confidence that he throws the football with, when he sits in the pocket, you can look at his demeanor. He's like, he lets you know he know what he's doing, so I like the confidence, and that's half the battle, is having the confidence to make the throws.
So you'll have Jordan come out as the only running back, as we'll have a whistle to stop play. Looks as if Piedmont trying to get a substitution, and they do, onto the field. So now we're back underway. Football right at midfield on the first down and 10. Here's the give to Jordan, and he gets immediately tackled as he gets lucky to get maybe a half-yard loss that time, as here you see Aiden Watts along with about a couple others helping out on the tackle.
Well, it's something that they're seeing. They blitzing in that A-gap right there. Once they figure out what it is, they it's something that's keying them off, and as soon as the ball snaps, you get an A-gap blitz. So,
looking at the Cherokee County defense, you have Aiden Watts and Tay Diamond, the defensive ends. Tay Diamond, his third year starting on defense for Cherokee County. Wilson under pressure, trying to find time and trying to escape, and does so as he gets across the original line of scrimmage. That was very impressive poise to get out of trouble that time for Wilson as he gets positive yards to set up a third down and about 8 to go.
Absolutely. He's doing a fantastic job. I mean, he's hard to bring down, too.
Cherokee County substitution defensively as Lyndon Ransom checks back in. Caleb Harbor, the defensive tackle, by the way, for the Warriors of Cherokee County. Tristan Brown and Hayden Wheeler, the outside linebackers. Alex Lloyd and Jacob Carnejo, the other linebackers, the inside linebackers. Wilson under pressure. He will take off and throw down the field, and that is incomplete. Intended for Pike that time, as he got away just a little bit briefly that time, did Pike, but the pass overthrown, I should say, under pressure.
But I'm still looking at the speed of these receivers. These two guys are actually getting away. They get behind the defense pretty easily. And if you look right there, he's behind the defense right there. And, that that would be something I would discuss at halftime, because they just get behind the secondary too easily.
Caden Cardelli, the other Cardelli, will punt for the first time this season. A 3-and-out for the Cherokee County defenses. That's a good high spiraling punt. That'll be a fair catch at the 19. And I think there was actually a move made also that time by Carson Chestnut. Surprised there wasn't a delay of game flag thrown that time. But it'll be a first down and 10 for Cherokee County from about their own 19.
Well, typically they do, and then you have some officials that'll give a warning first, and then after that, if you foul catch and you run it, they'll throw the hanky down.
There you see our friends at Duggar Mountain Chocolate and Firearms joining the FNN family this evening. Give them a call at 256-792-9400. That's Duggar Mountain Chocolate and Firearms. First down and 10 for Cherokee County, as it'll be the keeper for Cornejo. He's not going to get that much at all, as Chance Murphy having a solid game tonight, leading the way on the tackle for Piedmont. Second quarter, as we're under the 8-minute mark until halftime. So a solid first half so far. Good atmosphere tonight, Eddie, as basically both sidelines and along the fence filled to capacity here at the Field of Champions.
Absolutely, and great temperature. Great football weather. It's what you want.
Here's the keeper this time for Woods, as he'll get a good surge off the right side. And that should be close to an iCare Alabama first down, and I think that will be an iCare Alabama first down, depending on the spot. He needed the 29-yard line, and that's about where the officials are going to spot the football. And indeed, looks as if the chain gang setting up for a fresh set of downs, as it will indeed be an iCare Alabama first down with those locations in Piedmont, Heflin, Roanoke, and Atala. And there's the number at the top left-hand corner of your screen. Quality iCare close to home. Here's the keeper for Cornejo, once again off that right side, as the right side of that offensive line for Cherokee County. Ransom at right tackle, Butts at right guard, and throw in Antonio Hernandez at center. And they've been awfully busy in the run game tonight, Eddie.
I think you might have a hold on that play on the right side there.
I'll tell you what, that would be a break for Piedmont, because they've had a hard time so far being able to stop Cherokee County on the ground.
Absolutely, and they just going, that's one of the most demoralizing things, is when a team just run right at you, and, there's nothing you can do about it. You got to bow up and try to put together some stops, and hope they get a couple of penalties that kill the drive.
Referee Ray Lindsay indicating to the far side, because we are actually away from the press box this evening, that was a hold on Cherokee County. Cherokee County in their white tops and bottoms tonight as the visiting team. Here's the play action and the quick bubble screen pass that's low, and they're going to say complete to Frampton, but whether it was incomplete or caught, it's going to be no gain on excellent pursuit defensively by Piedmont.
That throw is too long. You got the receiver out pretty wide, and normally when you throw a little screen or you throw a quick stay, you want to get it there as quick as possible to get them in space, but by the time he caught the football, he had 3 defenders on him.
Frampton's first reception, no gain on the play. Looked as if he might have dropped the ball, but because it was no gain, no harm, no foul across the board. Shotgun for Tittle. Has time and throws, and that is low, incomplete, and he had Frampton about the 33-yard line.
Hit him right in the hand.
I was about to say, let's take a Morrow Tire and Auto second look, as that was a little bit of a low throw. If that throw is a bit further up, Frampton might still be running, Eddie. So that's going to be an incomplete pass and take us to another heat timeout with 6:01 to go until halftime. Good ball game as Cherokee County leading 13-7 on the FNN High School Football Game of the Week, brought to you by Infinity Dock.
Bama Sheds and Pole Barns. Locally and family owned with the best customer service. Custom built to fit your needs with free delivery and setup. Design and price online or stop by and see what we can do for you. Nobody beats our prices and nobody beats our quality. Built in Alabama, made in Alabama. BamaSheds.com.
Duggar Mountain Chocolate and Firearms brings you our second quarter as we're at the halfway point of the second quarter. Cherokee County leading by 6. A long yardage situation as Tittle under pressure rolling to our near side as he has an open receiver complete at the 40-yard line as that's Frampton on the catch. As it was a third and long situation, 15 to go, as that should be close enough and good enough for the iCare Alabama first down.
Well, he was able to elude the sack there. You know, they had pressure on him, and he was able to elude that sack, and he made a good throw across the middle, kind of sidearmed it there, and I think that was a similar area where he threw the last pass.
That's likely the biggest question this season for Cherokee County. How good is Tittle in obvious passing situations? There's the Wildcat situation, and it'll be Woods on the call that time. As he'll get good blocking on the left side to the 45-yard line. That was a big third down pass completion from Tittle to Frampton to move the sticks on a 16-yard pass completion. So Cherokee County, if they can stick this ball in the end zone, would take their largest lead of the game.
And that's the way they like it. They like second and short, second and 5.
Carnejo on the call as he'll get right at midfield, and that'll be good enough for another iCare Alabama first down. So Cherokee County once again playing to their identity of physical smash mouth football under Coach Jacob Kelly. So it'll be a first down and 10. And at least from what we've seen, Eddie, the last 3 years or so, Jacob Kelly really turning into one of the bright young stars as far as the coaching ranks in our state. Here's the give for Carnejo, Woods, as he'll keep those legs turning and continue the Cherokee County drive into Piedmont territory at the 30 for an iCare Alabama first down and another Morrow Tire and Auto second look.
Well, he was one tackle away right there. He broke several tackles, that's 1, that's 2, that's 3, that's 4. And fourth, it took 4 tackles. He could never get up to top momentum. Had he gotten up to top momentum, it may have been a problem.
Keyshawn Woods on a 20-yard first down run. As it'll be the direct snap, and Carnejo off the left side following his blocking, trying to turn the corner. Nice little waltz along the sideline, along our side, along the visiting side, as he'll get close to the 20-yard line. And from where they're going to spot the football, that may be good enough for another iCare Alabama first down.
Oh, he does a great job. I mean, he does what we call the two-step right there. And when they sending those backs at you, they sending 3 of them at you right there. It's just tough to deal with. I mean, they going Wildcat and he.
It looks like an early snap that time, as it was a loose ball, and for Cherokee County, fortunate to get the ball back.
Absolutely. I think it slipped out of the center's hand right there. So that's an unfortunate situation, and heads-up play by the running back there to get up there and get on it,
I believe that was the first-team All-State running back from last year, Carnejo, that was able to alertly fall on the football. So we've seen 3 ball carriers so far, as you have Carnejo and Woods. Woods getting the snap as he'll go right into the Piedmont defense and stay on his feet. Good, determined running that time as he bounced off a couple of tacklers. Luke Reinhardt, the last one to make contact on the tackle.
Yeah, I think Woods was the one who recovered that fumble earlier. He ran up and fell on it. He was very alert. Now, he's a little winded now, so, hey, you got Carnejo, and then you got your big guy back there.
Looks as if Jalen Helm for Piedmont checking out. As it'll be a third down and 6. So a 5-yard gain on the last carry by Woods. As it'll be Carnejo getting upended on the run blitz. Impressive timing that time by Trevor Pike as he shoots out of the gap and comes up with the tackle.
Well, he came from the outside over there. Now, he's just unaccounted for. It's a great play.
That's a big play in this drive because it'll now be 4th down, and that's a loss of 2 that time by Cornejo. And that's about one of the only areas as far as Pike being able to get a solo tackle on Cornejo around the ankles.
Well, I'll tell you right here, you're a little bit too far to kick a field goal, and I probably would get a timeout right here.
Here's
they got him out.
Cornejo throwing wide open and all alone for the touchdown is the tight end Ben Mosley.
We got a flag on the far side.
So a flag on the play, and let's see what our crew in zebra stripe says. So it looks like an illegal shift called on Cherokee County. That's a big penalty, especially benefiting Piedmont, Coach. Because that was a really good play design and good timing as far as that play call for Jacob Kelly and the coaching staff, but just missed execution prior to the snap, costing Cherokee County the touchdown.
Absolutely. I don't think he let him get set long enough before they snapped the ball.
So Cornejo found a wide open Ben Mosley in the end zone, what would have been a 19-yard touchdown. And instead we'll set up a 4th down and 14 as we'll have a timeout on the field for Piedmont. We'll take the timeout with them deep in the second quarter, under 2 minutes to go here on the FNN High School Football Game of the Week, presented to you by Infinity Docks.
At iCare Alabama, our goal is to meet the needs of every patient. Dr. Dwayne Mohan and Dr. Ryan Price always strive for excellent outcomes. We want each patient to get the best vision and medical care possible. At iCare Alabama, we utilize all the latest technological advances to ensure that you receive the best quality eye care. So call for an appointment at any of our 4 locations in Piedmont, Heflin, Roanoke, or Atala and see the difference. Most insurance is accepted. Eye Care Alabama. Efficient, effective eye care close to home.
The FNN High School Football Game of the Week brought to you each and every week by Grub Mart, the home of the 99-cent bag of ice. 4th and 14 as Tittle throwing to the near side, complete. And it'll be well shy of the 1st down as Cornejo needed about the 10 and only got to the 18-yard line. So that is a big defensive stop for Piedmont as they'll have the ball 1st down and 10. So Cornejo was able to catch the ball, but solid defensive scheming that time for Jonathan Miller's Piedmont Bulldogs as they defended the 1st down sticks around the 10-yard line and allowed that underneath catch. And Cornejo only managed about a 5-yard gain. So we've already seen Cole Wilson loft a 62-yard touchdown in the first quarter. So we've seen the ability for Piedmont to score on the quick strike, as they still have 1:47 to go to try and possibly take the lead.
I think you'll definitely see somebody over the top, though.
Here's the give to Jordan as he'll go right up the middle. One of his better carries of the evening across the 20 to the 21-yard line. Original line of scrimmage at the 17, so that's a 4-yard gain for Jordan. By the way, Piedmont's backfield defensively, Devion Stitz check that. We'll flip this spotting chart over. Alex Johnson and Trip Davis, the corners, and then Jace Turner and Cooper Rogers, the safeties. Wilson under pressure as he'll just get out of bounds to stop the clock, and he'll take a loss of about a couple that time. And a good defense that time, as here you see Caleb Harbor, the defensive tackle, applying the pressure. So the clock's going to stop at 1:13 remaining until halftime.
Well, stop right here, and I think you'll see a timeout right here because
3rd down and long coming up. Line to reach with the 1st down is the 29. Wilson to throw. Rolls, looking for a man downfield. And now fires, and that's into traffic. And is it intercepted? And yes, it is. Hayden Wheeler coming up with the interception along the Piedmont sideline. And if that indeed stands as an interception on this Morrow Tire and Auto replay, then it's going to be outstanding field position for Cherokee County.
I believe he called him out of bounds on the interception right there. Let's look and see.
That's a good look. He's not out of bounds. The only question is, did the ball hit the ground? And looks as if that they do say in either case so, an incomplete pass. Great defensive positioning, though, for Hayden Wheeler, as it'll force a punt, and it'll be Caden Cardelli on the punt. A loose ball, and anybody's ball, and looks as if Piedmont might have been able to come up with it. And they do. So the muffed punt return that time for the Warriors, as Luke Young not able to get a handle on it for Cherokee County, as that is the biggest break of the game so far, Eddie, for Piedmont.
Absolutely. He just muffed the punt right there, you know what I mean. It's a tough catch on the run. And
there you see Trevor Pike leading the way, and Chance Murphy coming up with the fumble recovery for Piedmont. The Morrow Tire and Auto second look, as outside of the Cole Wilson to Ishmael Bethel touchdown pass, that is the biggest play, really the biggest yard gainer of the night for Piedmont. So they have a second chance now to score a touchdown, and with a PAT, take the lead into halftime.
Well, you got empty backfield, so I would look for something deep right here.
Here's Wilson dropping under pressure, sidesteps the tackler, throws downfield, has a receiver, and incomplete. There's the big lick that time by Jace Turner, the safety. As we're going to have a little extracurricular activity, looks like, downfield after the play. A Morrow Tire and Auto second look, as you had McLean Mohan downfield that time. As you'll see him get behind the defense. And looks as if there's going to be a penalty flag.
It's a great hit right there. I mean, that's big time right there. I mean, he laid the wood to him right there.
Looks like an unsportsmanlike conduct call. No, on college football Saturdays, a lot of times now you get a targeting call on that type of hit.
Well, I think as long as they don't leave with the crest of the hill, man, and that the timing of that was just perfect. I mean, he touched the ball and he wanted to make sure that he didn't recover it.
Now, they don't indicate targeting, just an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. In any case, an iCare Alabama first down for Piedmont, as they're at the Cherokee County 34, at least right now, but flags on the play. Fans starting to get into it now here at the Field of Champions, as we're at under 46 seconds remaining until halftime.
Yeah, absolutely. The team's going at it on the field, and the fans are definitely going at it.
While the penalties being sorted out, I'd like to thank Urban Rustique on Highway 78 in Oxford, the Vendor Mall, all under one roof, for presenting their sponsorship as far as our coverage of the FNN High School football game of the week. Wilson dumps it down, and that's going to be incomplete. Probably for the better that time, because that looked as if on the tunnel screen that Cherokee County had that one figured out.
Absolutely.
Intended pass for Raleigh Pinto. So it'll stop the clock. 43.2 seconds to go. It'll be a second down. And the football will be at the 34-yard line. Trips receivers to the near side. Wilson to throw. Stops, throws down the middle, deflected, and incomplete with a flag on the play. Now you had the intended receiver of Jalen Helm streaking down the middle of the field. There was contact right around when the ball got to Helm, as we'll take a Morrow Tire and Auto replay look. Good protection, and might have been some early contact. I was not sure who got the contact on the back end. That's probably where the flag was thrown. That was bang timing on the flag, as it will be pass interference called on Cherokee County. So you had two defenders that time. So you had Cooper Rogers and Jace Turner, both of the safeties for the Warriors of Cherokee County on the play. So we also have an injured Piedmont Bulldog down on the field around the 10-yard line. We'll go ahead and step aside for this injury timeout here on the FNN High School Football Game of the Week.
Your neighborhood Grub Mart is your one-stop shop for everything you need when you're on the go. Grub Mart features the best prices on Coke and Pepsi products and is the home to the 99-cent bag of ice every day. And Grub Mart is your exclusive home for the popcorn bucket. Purchase yours for only $5.99, then bring it for free refills throughout the year. And save every day with your Grub Mart Super Saver card. When you're on the go, it's good to know Grub Mart has everything you need. Gas, diesel, and delicious Oleo donuts. In business over 78 years, visit your local Grub Mart today.
Duggar Mountain Chocolate and Firearms brings you our second quarter as we're late in the second quarter. Jalen Helm helped off the field during the timeout. As Piedmont off of the iCare Alabama first down via penalty has it in the Cherokee County red zone. First red zone opportunity this evening. As Wilson under pressure, trying to get out of a tackle and does so. Play continues as Wilson fires toward the end zone into coverage, and that is incomplete. That's a break for Piedmont that time, Eddie. That was nearly about a 15-yard loss on the sack and close to an interception as well on the throw. As here you see Ethan Rogers presenting from Alpha Insurance Agency in Piedmont this red zone trip.
Absolutely. He did a great job at getting away and breaking that tackle and giving his receiver a chance. And they did a great job at scrambling. Even if you throw an interception in the end zone, that's just like a punt. So
there you see 26 seconds remaining until halftime. Both teams with a couple of timeouts at their disposal. Big momentum opportunity for Piedmont going into the locker room. Blitz shown by Cherokee County is Wilson throwing near side, complete. As no, they'll say looks like interception.
Oh yes, he took it from him.
Interception, as it appeared that Mohan initially came down with it. As we'll take another look at that play by Morrow Tire and Auto.
That was a great job. I mean, he caught the football and he just...
This is a huge play, folks, as far as a turning point in this ball game.
He catches it right there, and if you look right there, that's big time right there. If you look right there, he just takes it from him.
Cooper Rogers that time is there. You see the ball, great look at it, exposed on the hip of McLean Mohan, and Rogers, as you mentioned, Eddie, just steals it away. It'll be Tittle just taking the snap as we'll go into the halftime locker room. Fierce ball game so far. It feels like that Cherokee County has kind of dictated the tempo of this game, but Piedmont hanging around so far.
Right. Just a couple of penalties are there, and then, like I said, you have to take care of the football. So.
Duggar Mountain Chocolate and Firearms brought you our second quarter. As the team's going to the halftime locker room. As it's been back and forth so far, a lot of scoring early on. As we are headed to the locker room, Piedmont heading to their locker room, and looks like Jacob Kelly still talking a few things as far as some of the things that went on in the second quarter with our head referee, Ray Lindsay. Would love to be a fly on the wall as far as this conversation with Coach Jacob Kelly and Ray Lindsay. And now we go to our halftime. Infinity Docks presents our FNN High School Football Game of the Week. Cherokee County 13 and Piedmont 7.
Your neighborhood Grub Mart is your one-stop shop for everything you need when you're on the go. Grub Mart features the best prices on Coke and Pepsi products and is the home to the 99-cent bag of ice every day. And Grub Mart is your exclusive home for the popcorn bucket. Purchase yours for only $5.99, then bring it for free refills throughout the year. And save every day with your Grub Mart Super Saver card. When you're on the go, it's good to know Grub Mart has everything you need. Gas, diesel, and delicious Oleo donuts. In business over 78 years, visit your local Grub Mart today.
The Calhoun County Commission, made up of Fred Wilson, Danny Shears, Carolyn Henderson, Terry Howell, and Lee Patterson, ask you to take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. Our beautiful parks, neighborhoods, recreational facilities, historic sites, and museums. Our citizens enjoy a high quality of life and strongly support the arts. If you're considering expanding or starting a new business, take a look at Calhoun County. You'll be glad you did.
The Calhoun County Commission presents to you our halftime coverage here at the FNN High School football game of the week from the Field of Champions. Our first trip in a while up here to the northeast part of Calhoun County. As there you see the five fine folks as far as our Calhoun County Commission as they present to you our halftime and invite you as always to take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. And so far, at least in this portion of Calhoun County, they've presented us and given us a look at some competitive football so far in the first 24 minutes of play, as Cherokee County has led for most of the first half, but Piedmont hanging around, though, as far as a 13-7 halftime deficit. Obviously, a lot going on as far as just the dynamics of the Piedmont football program. Eddie, when it comes to Jonathan Miller leading the Piedmont Bulldogs as head coach for his first game. Cole Wilson taking over the quarterback reins for legend Jack Hayes as far as not just this area of Alabama, but the entire state of Alabama when it comes to recent quarterbacks that have come through the high school ranks and really the history of Alabama high school football. And really, what's your assessment of what you've seen from Piedmont so far in that first half, Eddie?
Well, I'm really impressed. They, even though Cherokee County has dictated the time of possession during the game, Piedmont has made a statement for themselves. They had an opportunity right there at the end with a couple of penalties to punch it in and possibly go in at halftime tied or ahead. But and I'm impressed with Piedmont's speed. They got some good receivers and some good skill guys that show great speed, and they hadn't bowed down, even though defensively Cherokee County has been, pretty much running it straight at them, and kind of dictating the pace of the game. But, one thing about it, Piedmont hadn't bagged down, so I'm very impressed.
I think, Eddie, for Piedmont, we're seeing a lot of raw ability out there, really across the board from the players, from the coaching staff, and even Jonathan Miller has emphasized as far as throughout the preseason at Calhoun County Media Days, whenever I visited with him, whenever other media members have visited with him, that this is, at least this year, is going to be a work in progress as far as playing, improving to crunch time when it comes to November, late in the season, as well as the postseason as well. And if this program, at least this year's team, can gel, find out their roles, they still might have an opportunity to make another deep run, especially if Cole Wilson can develop into a capable, consistent quarterback.
Well, the first year is always a work in progress. I don't care how great a players you got, how great a coach you got. You still got philosophy has to match talent, and of course you got to have effort there. And so far I think Piedmont, tied and Fife last week in Jamboree, and the way they're playing so far, I think they're making a good showing of themselves, having a new coach, a new system, and and the new coach having new players and learning the system, and trying to live up to the tradition. So I don't think they've let anybody down so far.
And then you look at the opposite sideline, Eddie, as far as Jacob Kelly's Cherokee County Warriors. A lot of expectations for them this year. And you still have to keep in mind, you go into Piedmont,
it's a tough environment to go into if you're the road team, and in fact you throw in the rivalry aspect. And he mentioned to us on Tuesday, I know in talking with him just on Tuesday, that for his players, this game is their biggest rival that they have as far as the schedule and really Cherokee County football goes. And so far, so good on the road and being able to really do much of what they want, especially offensively in the first half.
I think they've made a good showing, and I think you take away a couple of penalties, they could easily be up 2 touchdowns, but I think he's kind of lobbing, because being in a hostile environment, I know right before he went in at halftime, he had a conversation with the officials. I think he tend to believe that, he may not be getting what he want out there. Some of the close calls are going against him, but, you have to play through that, because when you're on the road, that's just going to happen, You just have to keep your guys up. You can't let them see you get down, and you have to play through it.
Well, I think you're also, if you're Cherokee County, playing as far as getting yourself ready for November and the postseason, because when you look at the pieces and the collection of talent on Cherokee County, they have an opportunity as far as being able and being capable of making another deep 4A playoff run, if not maybe take home a blue map to center.
Absolutely. But the thing about it, during the process, you just don't want to lose. It's just something about losing that you just don't want to lose. And, I can understand Coach's point of view, so he's, whether he's on the road or whether he's at home, he want to make sure that, he give his guys a chance to win a football game.
The Calhoun County Commission, as you see on your screen, presents our halftime coverage here at the Field of Champions, and just up Highway 9, a big viewing party going on as far as watching our presentation tonight at Easy Street in Center, Alabama. A big thanks to those of you up in Cherokee County and wherever you're watching us for tuning us in this evening, live and on demand when it comes to the FNN High School Football Game of the Week. Let's take a little breather here, and we'll take a look at what's going on around the state of Alabama in Week 1, the second week of the regular season after this timeout on the FNN High School Football Game of the Week, presented this week by Infinity Docks.
That Joe Biden and Hunter Biden were paid $10 million in bribes.
The floodgates are literally open here.
Mike Rogers is standing up to crooked Joe Biden in D.C. Mike Rogers is our way of fighting back.
Located in Alexandria, Alabama, Ron's Barbecue is now back open 10 to 8 Wednesday through Sunday. A local, family-owned and operated business, Ron's is providing slow-smoked ribs, barbecue chicken, and more. Known for the huge buffalo chicken tenders and the delicious smash burger, Ron's is perfect for the family night out or a lunchtime meeting. Come on out and try Calhoun County's newest local barbecue restaurant.
At Farmers and Merchants Bank, we're showing off our school spirit with our newly designed vertical Spirit debit cards. Now, these are customized with your favorite school's logo, and half of every Spirit card purchased goes toward your school. So, show off your colors and support your local school with the FNM Spirit debit card. You can learn more at fnm.bank. Member FDIC.
Infinity Docks presents our FNN High School Football Game of the Week. call for all of your boat or shoreline needs when it comes to those marine-related services like boat docks or renovation, boat lifts, pile driving, as well as dock expansion, stairs and walkways to docks, pier installation, and a whole lot more. You can find Infinity Docks on their Facebook page or give them a call at 205-790-1378. And there you see our FNN magazine as far as for this 2023 season. And a second look at that beauty as far as one of our Cherokee County stars, one of Alabama's high school football stars when it comes to running back Jacob Carnejo. First team All-State along with Tay Diamond for the Warriors in 2022. We're at halftime, and time to take a look at some action across the state of Alabama. And certainly we had a few on our agenda when it came as far as looking at the big ones. And it's been back and forth so far, at least at last report down in Pell City, as Rush Probst's Pell City Panthers right now leading the Leeds Green Wave 17-14.
Absolutely. Like I said earlier, I'm not surprised. I just felt like the way he played last week, and being old school, he would pull some tricks out of his bag.
Looking at some other scores from around the region, it is Ohatchee leading on the road at Walter Wellborn 20-7. A solid performance so far as they are at halftime over on the hill on the west side of Anniston between Ohatchee and Wellborn, with Walter Wellborn trailing at the half, and Ohatchee looking once again solid, kind of picking up where they left off last week.
Absolutely, and again, that's I just didn't know how many skilled players Wellborn would have to be able to match Ohatchee punch for punch.
Wadley so far leading Ranburn 35-0. And looking at some other scores from around, and looks as if the Pell City and Leeds game either closing in or right at halftime. And also just kind of, that's some of the scores right now. And I think also Jacksonville was leading big against Alexandria, as they should be around halftime as well over just down the street in Jacksonville.
Yeah, I think last I looked at, checked that score was 31-0.
So Alexandria struggling so far to start the season, as we take a look at the Piedmont High School Marching Band and some highlights from the first half thanks to Morrow Tire and Auto. First, it's Jacob Carnejo on 4th and 3, just bowling his way into the end zone for a 4-yard touchdown, and then almost immediately after that, Cole Wilson going downtown. Ishmael Bethel running right past Cooper Rogers of Cherokee County and into the end zone for a 62-yard touchdown, as the extra point gave Piedmont their only lead. And then Cherokee County doing what they know to do, give the ball to Jacob Carnejo. Carnejo off the right side, and here is Keyshawn Woods on another third down red zone carry for the touchdown, as Ben Frampton's extra point gave us our present margin at 13-7. And then some good defense shown by Cherokee County, as Cooper Rogers that time on a run blitz able to time the snap perfectly and tackle Pike for a loss that time of about 5. As Cole Wilson, a solid first half, but not one of his better throws here, as Cooper Rogers comes up with the first of 2 takeaways in the first half for him. Cooper Rogers really showing out, especially in the second quarter, as this was one of the few pass attempts that we saw from Cherokee County, as Carson Tittle, the Ohatchee transfer, finds Ben Hampton for a 3rd and 15 first down conversion thanks to iCare Alabama. And again, this is Woods, who actually got quite a few carries in the first half, able to spring a big one into Piedmont territory to about the 30-yard line. And then this one was called back as far as what would have been a huge touchdown, as Carnejo on a 4th and long found Ben Mosley, the tight end, but an illegal shift negated what would have been a Cherokee County touchdown. And that really helped Piedmont stay in contention, at least at halftime. as Cole Wilson got out of trouble a lot tonight and showing his arm here. And also, speaking of showing the hit that time, was the Cherokee County defense and Jace Turner, the safety. That led to a pass interference penalty, and this was one of the biggest plays defensively. And check that, Hayden Wheeler coming up with the takeaway. So you had Wheeler and also Cooper Rogers coming up with takeaways, and Wheeler's really robbery that time on an interception. That was a big play to keep Cherokee County in the lead, Eddie.
Yeah, absolutely. You can tell he was in the weight room, because a good receiver just, you pull that thing in and touch your hands, you tuck and go, and he kind of left it exposed a little bit too long, and I like what the defender did is he never quit on the play.
At halftime, as the Calhoun County Commission presents our halftime coverage and Infinity Boat Docks. Our FNN High School football game of the week. The Warriors, Cherokee County 13, Bulldogs of Piedmont 7. Second half coming up here from the Field of Champions in Piedmont.
At Family Prosthetic and Medical Supply, we put you first. With more than 15 years experience, our family-owned business provides a range of services such as custom prosthetics, sports bracing, diabetic shoes, and mobility. We are located centrally in Alexandria, Alabama. Give us a call today to set up a free evaluation appointment. Also, ask about home delivery.
Griffin Laser Engraving in Lincoln is your authorized local dealer for personalized Yeti products. Get your Yeti customized for your team, a business, or a special event. Your color, graphics, even photos. At Griffin Laser Engraving, we make it the way you want it. Order just one or hundreds, and you'll find the full line of Yeti coolers and accessories on hand, even the hard-to-find items. Nationally recognized, but right here at home in Lincoln for quality awards, trophies, powder coating, and personalized Yeti items, Griffin Laser Engraving.
It's game day, and from all of us at Bucks Island,
From the Loft Tackle Store.
From the team in service.
From the team in parts.
From the sales team.
From the Bucks Island family, good luck and go get 'em, boys.
Treating our customers the way we want to be treated since 1948. BucksIsland.com or call 1-800-I'm-READY. Let our team help you win on the water.
The Calhoun County Commission, made up of Fred Wilson, Danny Shears, Carolyn Henderson, Terry Howell, and Lee Patterson, ask you to take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. Our beautiful parks, neighborhoods, recreational facilities, historic sites, and museums. Our citizens enjoy a high quality of life and strongly support the arts. If you're considering expanding or starting a new business, take a look at Calhoun County. You'll be glad you did.
Now under new owners Scott and Valerie Farah, come experience the scenic wonders and improvements at Cherokee Pines Golf Club. This challenging 18-hole semi-private golf club is located just off Highway 9 outside Center. There's been many course improvements under Superintendent Heath Hammond. New bunkers, maintenance equipment, and new golf carts. Step up your game with individual or group lessons from managing pro Eddie Jackson. Our stock pro shop and spacious clubhouse round out a perfect day of golf. Bring a group of friends, tee it up, and see for yourself. Cherokee Pines Golf Club.
From the Field of Champions, two teams that made it all the way to the state championship game a season ago. Cherokee County, the 4A state runner-up last season, and Piedmont, the 3A state runner-up in 2022. James Hardy, Coach Eddie Bullock, and the rest of our FNN crew here at the Field of Champions. There's still 24 minutes of the second half to go as we're on the tail moments of closing out our halftime coverage, as we'll be just at least a little bit, about 20 minutes and a little bit of change west of here on 278. As we'll be at Hoax Bluff for the first region week of the season. A couple of 3A Region 6 foes going at it, and rivals almost next-door neighbors, for that matter. Glencoe taking on Hoax Bluff to open up region play next week on the FNN High School Football Game of the Week. 6:30 airtime, 7 o'clock kickoff, as always, during the season. And speaking of during the season, Tuesday nights, 7 o'clock, 90 minutes of high school football coverage on the FNN Coaches Show. Yours truly, Jim Jacobs, Joe Medley from East Alabama Sports, and a whole lot more as far as coaches, players, or player of the week. A lot to cover as far as Tuesday nights over at Struts Wings in Oxford. And be sure to join us for football discussion and some outstanding food when it comes to what Struts Wings has to offer to you. Both teams out at the halftime locker room as we are getting closer to beginning the second half, the second 24 minutes of play, as we'll see our Law Pools and Patio kickoff coming up once again with over 35 years of professional pool construction. So be sure to visit them at lawpoolsandpatio.com. Interesting first half as Cherokee County was able to maintain the lead for almost the entire first half. Piedmont had a brief first half lead. Scoring, really not a lot of scoring despite what really was a lot of action in the first half. First off, it was a 4-yard touchdown run by Jacob Cornejo as it was Ben Frampton missing the extra point as Cherokee County scored on their opening drive and led 6-0. And then right after that, it was Piedmont scoring a 62-yard touchdown pass from Cole Wilson to Ishmael Bethel. And the PAT by Chase Cardelli made it 7-6. And then right after that, a 13-yard touchdown run early second quarter thanks to Keyshawn Woods, and Ben Frampton added the extra point kick. So first half, it was Piedmont receiving the opening kickoff. So with Cherokee County winning the toss and deferring their option, they will decide to take the ball to begin the third quarter. Keys for you in the second half, Eddie, as far as both of these teams try and get across the finish line successfully and get the W.
Well, I think the team that takes care of the football and value each possession because, it boiled down to Cherokee County had an opportunity to go up 2 touchdowns, and Piedmont had a chance to actually come back and take the lead, and neither one of them capitalized. So
Chase Cardelli kicks off as Young and also Chestnut back to receive, as it'll be Young scooting ahead across the 30, still on his feet as play continues, and whistles now blow it dead at the 35-yard line. So Cherokee County will have it first down and 10, as we didn't see a lot of passing. Expected, though, as far as the style of offense for Coach Jacob Kelly and the Cherokee County Warriors. Carson Tittle throwing a couple of passes in the first half, but mainly we saw Jacob Cornejo carry the load. Keyshawn Woods got a touchdown run, as we've mentioned a couple times, and Tay Diamond also got a handful of carries as well.
Absolutely. Cornejo is the workhorse, and you got to have somebody to give him a break, and they got 2 pretty good guys that give him a break there.
High snap as Cornejo gets the call, and he's not going to get a whole lot on solid defensive effort up front that time by Piedmont. So the strength of the team, at least according to Jonathan Miller for Piedmont, coming up front with Chance Murphy, Fisher Adams, and Dalton Griffith, especially when you look at Chance Murphy, one of the top defensive ends in Class 3A.
Well, that was extremely high snap there. It almost went over his head there, so I think it threw the timing of the playoff.
Second and long, and it'll be the give to Cornejo. Good blocking up the middle as he'll cross the 40 to about the 42, maybe the 43-yard line, and that's going to be still about a couple of yards shy of the iCare Alabama first down.
Cornejo is just a battering ram. He just go through there and he just dish it out. He's very methodical about letting the blocks develop in front of him, and he just does a great job, man. I just enjoy seeing him run.
Our third quarter brought to you by Smith Plumbing. That's an important third down coming up. There's the snap. And the give to Cornejo as he'll fight for the first down and get it across the 45 to the 47-yard line for the iCare Alabama first down.
That's just a maturity factor right there. He likes to make the big plays, and he had to put his head down and bust through. Like he's cramping a little bit right now, but he's tough as nails. He's going to fight through. Like he got a couple of cramps in his. You see him start pounding on his legs.
Cornejo, the first-team All-State running back a season ago, also plays at linebacker. A little early movement up front for Piedmont defensively, but they get back in time onto their side of the ball. Tittle awaiting the snap out of the pistol. And Cornejo off the right side. Good blocking on that right side. Nearly a first down run for Cornejo. As there you see Murphy along with Owen, the cornerback, and Reinhardt around the ball carrier on the tackle.
And I was about to say that right there. You see him, they're giving him a break, because you don't want him to get in a full-blown cramp. If you on the sideline, I see him stretching, and he's trying to make sure he stay out of that. He's trying to stretch his hamstrings right now.
Just about 2.5 minutes played so far in this third quarter. As a workman-like drive being developed right now by Cherokee County. There's the pitch back going to Woods off our near side. And solid defense to string out that tall sweep play as Reinhardt steps up from his linebacking position, the inside linebacker for Piedmont on the tackle.
And when you run that toss sweep like that, especially to the boundary, you gotta get off the line of scrimmage fast. You gotta attack the defense instead of staying back catching.
Smith Plumbing, licensed and insured, as they offer plumbing and gas fitting for commercial and residential needs. Also offer repairs and new construction as Smith Plumbing brings you our third quarter coverage. And Woods once again on the call. This time not a whole lot, maybe a half yard if that. And so it's going to be third down and long coming up, 3rd and 7. Really no man's land, so you got to expect 4-down territory here for Cherokee County.
Oh, absolutely. They're going forward. You're probably going to see a quarterback lead right here. I don't think you'll see a pass unless you're trying to trick them. And, they may run that little halfback pass they threw earlier, but I think more or less you're probably going to see a quarterback lead.
3-man front for Piedmont, 3rd and 7. Give goes to Woods up the middle. He'll get stood up for about a 3-yard gain that time. As here you see the backup safety, Jacob McElroy, coming up in run support. That was a good tackle that time for McElroy and company, as that'll set up a 4th and 5 on about a 2-yard gain.
Well, I think Woods is more the type of back you're going to run, try to get the edges or run him off tackle, whereas Cornejo, he can run through he can stay in the tackle box and he can still make it happen.
Actually, they'll officially give him a couple more, so we'll say a 4-yard gain and set up 4th down and 3 as Cornejo checks back in.
Well, you're fixing to see power, right? And there it is.
Direct snap to Cornejo off the right side, needed about the 31-yard line. And looks as if that Cherokee County gets it and a little bit more for the iCare Alabama first down. Just good old-fashioned smash-mouth football for the Warriors as they come up a big 4th down and about 3, and they get 4 to keep the drive alive.
Well, you know where it's going. You see a tight end, you see 2 wing backs, and then you see a running back leading and hitting the Wildcat. That's just power. You see it again right here.
As Woods bouncing it to the far side as he'll get taken down from behind once again. You have McElroy, among others, around the area of the ball carrier on the tackle.
I believe that was Diamond on that play right there, Tay Diamond.
Diamond sneaking in as we have almost played the first 6 minutes of this third quarter. So about six and a half minutes. So officially 5.5 minutes on this drive for Cherokee County to open the third quarter.
Well, it's going fast. When you run the football, that clock doesn't stop. So, except on first down, so.
And here's the carry. Cornejo off the left side as he'll dive forward across the 25 to about the 22-yard line.
Just one tackle away from taking it to the end zone.
As we take a look at some of our sponsors for tonight, a reminder about victory law, joining us this season and presenting, the FNN Game of the Week this season.
Got a power left coming up right here in the Wildcats.
3rd and 1, and right into the teeth of the defense. Needed only about those 12 inches in getting that, and a little bit more for the I Care Alabama first down.
It's big Tay Diamond barreling up the middle.
Tay Diamond actually getting a little more, at least, coverage from us tonight offensively, as he'll keep the drive alive. Also a reminder throughout the season, Bama Sheds presenting our ball toss as far as halftime for our FNN High School Football Game of the Week. As we come to the Heat timeout, so let's pay some bills, and we'll have more of the third quarter after this timeout on the FNN High School Football Game of the Week.
Advantage Tire and Alignment on Highway 202 in Anniston is so much more than just a new tire and rim shop. There's not enough time in this ad to tell you all the many things they can do to help keep your car in tip-top shape. Advantage Tire uses ASE certified technicians, so you know any work done is top-notch. Bottom line, if it needs repaired or replaced, they can probably do the job and save you money. And when it comes time for new or used tires and rims, Advantage Tire and Alignment prices just can't be beat. Stop in and see Bruce and the crew today. Advantage Tire and Alignment.
Located in Alexandria, Alabama, Ron's Barbecue is now back open 10 to 8 Wednesday through Sunday. A local family-owned and operated business, Ron's is providing slow-smoked ribs, barbecue chicken, and more. Known for the huge buffalo chicken tenders and the delicious smash burger, Ron's is perfect for the family night out or a lunchtime meeting. Come on out and try Calhoun County's newest local barbecue restaurant.
At Farmers and Merchants Bank, we're showing off our school spirit with our newly designed vertical Spirit debit cards. Now, these are customized with your favorite school's logo, and half of every Spirit card purchased goes toward your school. So, show off your colors and support your local school with the FNM Spirit debit card. You can learn more at fnm.bank. Member FDIC.
Jacob Cornejo tallies his second touchdown of the evening from 18 yards as Law Pools brings to you another Cherokee County kickoff. As it'll be Ben Frampton handling the honors on the kickoff once again. And we'll have Pinto, Pike, and also Mohan set to receive for Piedmont. And over and kick to the near side, as it'll be Pike receiving and trying to angle to the far side, as he'll try and turn the corner and cannot do so. Cherokee County stringing out that kickoff return. As they'll set up the football, will Piedmont about the 26-yard line, first down and 10. Our third quarter of tonight's FNN High School Football Game of the Week brought to you by Smith Plumbing. Give them a call at 256-447-9200 or find out about them at www.spsinc1.com. Important drive coming up, Eddie, for this Piedmont offense. because they find themselves down a couple of scores, and with the way that Piedmont's been able, or rather Cherokee County has been able to plod along on the ground, time's starting to become a factor as we're getting at least almost late into this third quarter, as you'll have Jordan come up with the carry. Demetrius Jordan, with one of his rare carries tonight, missed most of the season last year due to injuries. He'll get about a couple to set up a second and long.
Well, I think Piedmont is going to have to, they want to stay in this game. Their best bet is going to be to try to put the ball in the air. I think they can get athletes in space and they can keep it close. You know, you run every now and then, but I don't think they're going to do a whole lot trying to run directly at them, you know, because they got too much beef on the inside.
Well, that's that's the main area that Coach Jonathan Miller wasn't exactly pleased with as far as his team's running game on offense. Here's the snap, and rolling Wilson under immense pressure, and he'll go down back around the 20-yard line. Pressure coming that time. There you see Harbor along with a couple of others for Cherokee County. And so it's going to be an obvious passing situation, third and very long due for the Piedmont Bulldogs.
And, you know, it's obvious passing down. So, you know, you're probably going to blitz somebody. You're probably going to tell the guy stay in their rushing lanes, and you're going to blitz somebody. And you got to keep them in the pocket, though.
Line to reach with the first down is the 35, their own for Piedmont.
I definitely would have somebody over the top.
Wilson, time breaks down, looking for a receiver downfield, and now throws underneath, complete. So it'll be just a little bit shy of the first down, as it'll be Raleigh Pinto on the reception.
And Wilson does a fantastic job. He avoids the sack right there, and he throws it on the run for a blast. And you know, you can't do it any better than that. I mean, Cherokee County just swarming to the football, and you know, they did what they need to do. Now, what you don't want to do is line up off sides or jump off sides right here and give them and you surely don't want to muff the football. I'm sure Coach done spoke to them about fair catching, and if you got to catch it on the run, just let it go.
Caden Cardelli on the punt, as you saw the Morrow Tire and Auto replay. Solid punt for Caden Cardelli, as he'll get a solid roll still to about the 26-yard line. 42 yards on the punt and no return, as Cherokee County setting up, and they have an opportunity for really a knockout punch on this drive.
Absolutely. I believe if you see them punch it in now, if they drive out the third quarter and then punch it in early in the fourth quarter, you know, that may be the telltale story of the game right there.
I'll tell you what, I've been very impressed with this offensive line, the way they've just been establishing the line of scrimmage for one, but just off the snap, how they've been getting off the ball consistently against a solid front seven for Piedmont.
Well, they don't do anything fancy. I mean, they just line up and run the football right at you right there.
Here's the pop pass underneath. And good defense that time, swarming defense for Piedmont, as there you see about 4 tacklers led by Ben Dempsey on the stop.
Well, now he may be setting up something right there. You know, they did the pop pass, but I think you may see a fake off of that, because it's like, I mean, everybody in the stadium probably knew that's what you was about to do, you know, and the key is you can't have any penetration in the inside on that.
There you see Chance Murphy down on the field. What looks as if another cramp issue for tonight's ball game, as the Piedmont trainers will check on him. We'll go ahead and step aside for this quick timeout here in the FNN High School Football Game of the Week.
Today's real estate market requires expertise to navigate the buying and selling of property. You need a realtor that looks at you like family and not a dollar sign. If you've been thinking about buying, selling, or investing in real estate, contact the trusted agent, Alan Ray. He can educate you and walk you through the process from start to finish. And Alan Ray is here for support after the sale. His customers have access to him years later. You're more than a number, and you should be treated that way. And you are, with Realtor Alan Ray.
FNN Bank presents our FNN High School football game of the week each and every week during the season. As Carnejo will get stood up trying to turn the left side, and he'll fall forward to about the 20-yard line. We've called a lot of Jacob McElroy off the benches. There you see FNN presenting our FNN High School football game of the week. Also brought to you this week by Infinity Boat Docks. Jacob McElroy coming off the bench with a solid defensive game, very active pursuing the football from the defensive backfield at a safety spot for the Piedmont Bulldogs tonight.
I don't think you'll see anything fancy here. I think you'll see something pretty conservative. Even if it's a pass, it's probably going to be conservative.
Tittle looks as if give off to Carnejo as he'll get minimal yardage, so that's a good defensive stop on a 3-and-out for Piedmont as they'll come off the field. As helping out on the tackle was Eli Young.
Well, it's just a strategic call right there. You don't want to make a mistake back deep in your territory. You're up 2 touchdowns, so you want to give yourself a situation to let your defense come back out. And the defense been playing well, so you want to punt it away and just hold them, to minimum yard.
Blake Butts to punt. As there you see both Mohan and Pinto dropping to return. A short spiraling punt as it will not even get to midfield, so the defense does its job for Piedmont, and now the offense will have outstanding field position right at midfield as we're coming on the late minutes here of the third quarter. Actually, the late seconds, because we are now under a minute, 47.3 seconds to be exact to go here in the third quarter. Our third quarter presented this evening by our friends at Smith Plumbing. Licensed and insured, they provide services such as plumbing and gas fitting for commercial and residential uses, as well as for repairs and new construction. A timeout on the field, at least for our officials, but so far it's been the ground game for Cherokee County. Predictably, that's getting the job done. 2 touchdowns rushing for Jacob Carnejo. Last season, first team All-State at running back for Class 4A. Runs 4 yards and 18 yards as far as those touchdowns. Also, Keyshawn Woods with a 13-yard touchdown run. And for Piedmont, a 62-yard touchdown pass from Cole Wilson to Ishmael Bethel early in the first quarter. So Cherokee County was able to take almost the first 6 minutes, in fact, a little over the first 6 minutes of this third quarter, and taking their 2-score lead as we're late in the third quarter. As there you see Infinity Boat Docks presenting our first quarter this evening, as well as our game sponsor for tonight. Not exactly sure what went on there, Eddie, but looks as if Cherokee County responding positively to whatever the officials indicated as far as during that sequence on the punt return.
Absolutely. I have no idea what happened. I mean, I'm waiting on an explanation.
It looked as if there was a penalty flag that was also thrown on the play. And that's the one disadvantage that we have as far as being on the visiting side, is that you don't necessarily get the official indication as far as on the home side. It looks as if illegal participation.
12 men on the field.
There you go. So
that's a good way to stop them.
And there you go. So that's shooting yourself in the foot if you're Piedmont, as that'll keep the Cherokee County drive alive. The defense does everything they need to do, just a 12th man on the field participating to keep Cherokee County's offense on the field. Here's the direct snap. As it'll be Keyshawn Woods on the call this time. Play going toward right tackle, and Woods cutting it just off of right guard across the 45 to about the 47, 48-yard line. They'll spot it at the 48.
I think they're just wearing them down right now. They're just taking their time, and they just, Piedmont is doing an excellent job at containing the outside, keeping them. They only gave up the edge one time early in the first quarter when they scored, but right now that the outside ends and linebackers are setting the edge and making them turn it up on the inside.
Speaking of taking your time, that's exactly what Cherokee County's offense will do as they go into the fourth quarter. The Cherokee County fans come to their feet here at the Field Champions as the Warriors lead at 20-7 going into the fourth quarter.
The Food Barn in Raglan offers the best in good old-fashioned hometown service when you're shopping for groceries, plus the latest ways to get great food specials your way. Click on RaglanFoodBarn.com. Follow the Food Barn on Facebook and listen to the River for weekly specials.
Where you can get everything you need from down on the farm and it won't cost you a leg or an arm.
And they're open 7 days a week. For the best cuts on quality meats, great service, and great prices, it's the Food Barn in Raglan.
Tonight's FNN Game of the Week is sponsored in part by Advantage Tire and Alignment, Raglan Food Barn, Couches Jewelers, Law Pools and Patio, Ron's Good Barbecue and Cutter's Pizzeria, and by attorney Stephen R. Morris. Now, back to more of tonight's Game of the Week on FNN.
Final 12 minutes of tonight's FNN High School Football Game of the Week. Upcoming, presented to you by Griffith's OK Tire. They can be reached at 256-927-5113. As the fourth quarter begins, the direct snap, as it'll be Cornejo advancing across midfield on second down, as second effort will give them about another yard or two to about the 47-yard line or so. As we'll have third and short coming up for Cherokee County as they're just trying to grind away. And as you've mentioned already, Eddie, just try and wear down Piedmont and get home with a solid road W tonight.
Absolutely. They're just going to keep.
And also, they're trying to win their second in a row over Piedmont. As remember, prior to last year, they had lost 10 in a row in the series to Piedmont. Last year, it was Cherokee County coming from behind in the fourth quarter, down 14-7 to win 21-14. Up in center. This will be Diamond on the call. Big blocking on the right side, and that'll be an I Care Alabama first down.
Well, they just running power right there. You know, the guy that's setting the edge, they got guys in there, and they Diamond let it set up, and they just kicking that outside guy, and they turning up in there getting, 8 or 9 yards a pop. So, and they running to the boundary. I mean,
Eddie, I remember the last couple of years when we've had Cherokee County talking with Coach Jacob Kelly, especially the first time that I saw them as part of this FNN crew in 2021 about developing their strength and conditioning program, the weight room, and you're seeing just how well that's paying off as far as the offensive line just this evening is. It'll be Cornejo going right into the teeth of the defense for the Piedmont Bulldogs, as helping out was Caleb Tidwell from his outside linebacking spot. As there you see Griffith's OK Tire presenting our fourth quarter. For front-end alignment, oil change and brakes, truck and tires, and a whole lot more. Truck and tractor tires, batteries and shocks, chassis parts, among many things that Griffith's OK Tire can help you out with as far as your vehicle. And right now, as far as the Cherokee County offense, still trying to just pound away at that Piedmont defense, as it'll be a run off of left guard right at the 40, maybe the 39-yard line for Piedmont as far as field position goes, as we're into the fourth quarter and already under 10 minutes to go until we get to tonight's finish line for this game.
Absolutely, and I think when they run that power to the wide side, you probably need Woods and they got to get one block. See, they in the middle of the field, but if you go left, you got to reach that safety on the outside. If you can, that outside wing back can get the end guy, but you got to get that safety from coming down here.
Looks like the tight end Mosley that time getting an early head start.
Yeah, he's probably going to get an earful from Coach Kelly.
Ray Lindsey, the head referee, indicating the false start. One of the few penalties we've seen, especially offensively, from Cherokee County tonight. You can see going back to a point brought up earlier as far as the weight room and just how much really the team, but especially the offensive line. And Jacob Kelly mentioned to me a couple days ago how much that Jacob Cornejo has made huge strides in the strength and conditioning program. And we'll have a sideline warning, at least a little memo brought by referee Lindsay to the Cherokee County sideline in front of us.
I think now would be a good time for you to see that little halfback pass there.
3rd and 14, Cornejo on the counter keeper as he'll get stood up and maybe get back to the line of scrimmage. There you see out of the bottom of the pile, Dalton Griffith from his defensive end spot, helping out along with a couple of others of his teammates on the tackle. So 4th and long, and one of the few times that we've seen a punt from Cherokee County as Infinity Docks brings to you our FNN High School Football Game of the Week. So Piedmont's defense will get off the field. And it'll be the dual returners of Mohan and Pike set to return. A short little almost pooch punt, as it'll be Pinto letting it go inside the 15, and that'll roll inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. So Blake Butts doing a nice job on the punt that time by Cherokee County, as Piedmont backed up offensively. 1st down and 10 inside their own 10-yard line. And I know the Labor Day weekend is coming, so you may need a 99-cent bag of ice or 2 or 3 or maybe more as far as stocking up your cooler, cooling down as far as still the summer weather, at least still to come as far as early September. And so go to the Grub Mart as far as getting that 99-cent bag of ice, a longtime friend of ours when it comes to the FNN High School Football Game of the Week.
Well, James, somebody going to need some ice after this game. I tell you that.
Well, I think that 99-cent bag of ice will come in handy for both of these teams.
Absolutely.
Wilson operating out of the shotgun. He'll drop and quickly throw to the far side. That's going to be complete to Bethel as he'll go across the boundary as he makes his 3rd reception. And so that's going to be close to the 20 and close to an iCare Alabama 1st down.
Well, they're kind of giving him a little bit too much cushion. You know, if we know that's the go-to guy, you know. Now, back in my days, I would back off about 7 or 8 yards, and then I'd walk him down and play man and put a safety over the top of him, you know. And, you know, that way you got to disguise it. You just can't let him walk up to the line and get a pre-snap read that quick, yeah.
Wilson giving off to Jordan, but nothing doing that time as Tay Diamond, one of the top defensive ends in the state of Alabama on the TFL.
Well, you got a blitz right there as well, you know, and linebacker actually missed the tackle right there, but he had to spin back. He almost took the handoff.
Tay Diamond very active on both sides of the ball tonight, as it'll set up now a 3rd down or 2nd down, officially 2nd down and 10. So they said that the pass completion to Bethel on the first down of this drive was an iCare Alabama 1st down. Early movement, at least by the slot receiver that time for Piedmont. Ben Dempsey coming in at receiver, as he'll get an early head start. Not a lot of penalties, really, as far as pre-snap penalties for both of these teams.
Absolutely. But, you know, when you get down in crunch time of the game and you start rushing, that's when the penalties start coming because, you know, I used to call that my lightning offense. So, you know, you kind of get in a hurry there. You only got 7 minutes to try to get 2 scores.
13-point lead for Cherokee County, as it'll be 2nd down and 15. Wilson under pressure, rolling, looking for help, firing near side, and that is a fight for it. I'm not sure if that was complete or incomplete, if you saw that, Eddie.
Close to being picked.
So you had Mohan, the intended receiver, and looks as if the defensive back that time, coming off the bench, Cooper Allen on the coverage.
And they done a good thing. I don't know if you noticed, but they forced them to their sideline where the noise momentum is. They blitzed off the field side. And that's what you want to do. You don't want to let him go to his sideways comfortable, even though he's a lefty, you know.
3rd down and 15.
He kind of slant.
And we'll have a pre-snap penalty coming up. I tell you what, Cherokee County has basically brought the town of Center down Highway 9 with them and packed out the visiting stands tonight. And I tell you what, they've really made a difference so far for their team.
Hey, I had an old coach tell me, say, hey, this crowd's so huge here, if you want to rob Cherokee County, tonight would be a good night.
Well, I think the last time we went up to Center, it would have been another one of those nights as well, as far as the whole town coming out for their semifinal win against Aniana last year.
Absolutely. Hey, they support their football team, and that's a great thing, you know, to get these kids some support.
And Joseph will have another pre-snap penalty, as you had Cherokee County showing blitz. And this time it'll be an offside penalty.
Yeah, he was trying to time it up, and he just jumped off sides a little bit, but, you know, it didn't. It's 3rd down. It really didn't. It's still about 3rd and 14 or something, so it really didn't hurt him that bad, but even though you don't want it, a kid trying to make a play.
Tristan Brown on the penalty for Cherokee County. Wilson down the middle and intercepted. Intercepted by Jace Turner, as it'll be Cherokee County looking to put this one away, as they'll have a red zone opportunity come up to start their offensive drive.
And listen, that's just a drop pass. I mean, he hit him right smack in the hand.
A very strong.
Look, right there, he hit him right in the hands. I mean, he just dropped the football.
Ben Dempsey had the ball go right through his hands as Jace Turner comes up with his first interception of the night.
I think Coach Kelly's going to try to send a message right here on this drive. He wants to score. He wants to score right here.
Ethan Rogers, Alpha Insurance Agency, red zone opportunity. As there's some hard hitting for the Piedmont defense against Keyshawn Woods. As Pike at the bottom of the pile, also Luke Reinhardt helping to combine on the tackle.
Absolutely.
A big thanks to Ethan Rogers, Alpha Insurance Agency of Piedmont. As you can reach him at 256-447-8501. Your one-stop shop for your insurance needs.
And they got the game clock stopped, but that was a running play. I'm trying to figure out why it stopped.
They have a clock issue, as it'll be the direct snap going right up the middle. As Carnejo getting close to the 10-yard line. So we're approaching 6:15 remaining in the football game. Cherokee County with a comfortable cushion right now, up 13. And wouldn't have been very many opportunities, you could say, over about the last 15 years or so that a team coming into the Field of Champions would have a 15-point lead. And granted, this is a transition period for the Piedmont program, but you have to give a lot of credit to just the attitude and how Cherokee County's come out and played tonight on the road. It'll be Woods getting the direct snap, going off the left side, and he'll meet a couple of Piedmont defenders around the 10-yard line and fall forward to about the 9. As it'll be Demetrius Owen, the junior cornerback, helping out on the tackle.
And right here again, you're going to see something with Carnejo. You may see that little halfback pass again.
Well, it'll be a timeout, a heat timeout, and we'll take the timeout with them here on the FNN High School Football Game of the Week in the fourth quarter.
That Joe Biden and Hunter Biden were paid $10 million in bribes.
The floodgates are literally open here.
Mike Rogers is standing up to crooked Joe Biden in D.C. Mike Rogers is our way of fighting back.
On the Chestnut Bypass, 1530 Chestnut Bypass in center. Griffith's OK Tire presents our fourth quarter here on the FNN High School Football Game of the Week. 4th down and 5. And it'll be Cornejo trying to go into the line, and he'll be shy of the first down by about 4 yards. So a turnover on downs as Piedmont will take over, but time a factor right now for the home team, the Bulldogs, with 5:27 remaining in the football game. A big thanks for all of you for joining us wherever you are watching us from, especially to our folks up Highway 9 at Easy Street in Center, Alabama, who are having, I'm sure, a very enjoyable watch party this first Friday of September. And right now it's been a very enjoyable evening for the visiting team, Eddie, as nearly leading wire to wire. Cherokee County, not spectacular necessarily, but a very blue-collar type of performance on the road.
Absolutely, and I guarantee you, Coach will probably in film session, he'll talk to him about that possession, because I guarantee you he probably wanted to punch that one in.
First down at their own 9. So Lee Jordan getting a call off the left side, getting some good blocking as he'll break some tackles and get some open field across the 25. And so that's going to be an iCare Alabama first down. I don't see any flags on the play as the drive will continue as far as providing even just some breathing room, but Piedmont needs a lot more than that right now.
Well, and that's what you don't want to do, though, because, I mean, it's, a quick score and onside kick and you're back in the game.
That was a 19-yard gain for Jordan, the running back. Check that, Dontavius Jordan, as it'll be Wilson handing off to Jordan up the middle as he'll get a good surge to the 35-yard line, that is. A gain of 7 on the play.
See, I guarantee you they setting them up. They're playing the run. They're setting them up to throw something deep right there. That's 2 inside runs out of the power set, so don't be surprised if you see them come off.
Here's Jordan up the middle as he'll plow forward and get the iCare Alabama first down. Also, Urban Rustique, your all-under-one-roof vendor mall located on Highway 78 in Oxford, presents our FNN High School Football Game of the Week, as here's your iCare Alabama first down. With quality iCare close to home. As here's play action, Wilson loads up and gets his arm hit that time as it falls harmlessly to the ground, incomplete.
Well, that is, but you had 3 guys back. I knew it was coming. You got 3 straight run plays, and you're going to get a little play action right there, and then he's going to throw over the top. Now you may see another pass right here because, the first 3 plays set up that last play, so.
Here's to give Jordan, trying to cut back up into the middle and can't get much of anything. So you have Harbor along with his assist man Tristan Brown, who came up with the game-clutching interception against Piedmont last year on the tackle.
Well, it has to start going in there because you're on the 4 minutes right now. So,
and it's 3rd down and 9. There's Jordan off the right side, cutting it up and getting the iCare Alabama first down. So a solid drive so far, but once again, time becoming a factor. Very precious right now, every second for Piedmont as they're down 13. A solid night for Jacob Cornejo with a couple of touchdowns on the ground. As the give will go to Jordan, as we'll try and stretch it and gets tripped up in the backfield. May get back to the line of scrimmage as Hayden Wheeler comes up with that ankle tackle for Cherokee County. So just a couple of timeouts remaining as we'll have a stoppage in play because there is a Cherokee County player down across the way from us around midfield. We'll go ahead and take this timeout while they're taking a look at the fallen player, and we'll be back with more of the fourth quarter after this.
Bama Sheds and Pole Barns. Locally and family owned with the best customer service. Custom built to fit your needs with free delivery and setup. Design and price online or stop by and see what we can do for you. Nobody beats our prices and nobody beats our quality. Built in Alabama, made in Alabama. BamaSheds.com.
Advantage Tire and Alignment on Highway 202 in Anniston is so much more than just a new tire and rim shop. There's not enough time in this ad to tell you all the many things they can do to help keep your car in tip-top shape. Advantage Tire uses ASE certified technicians, so you know any work done is top-notch. Bottom line, if it needs repaired or replaced, they can probably do the job and save you money. And when it comes time for new or used tires and rims, Advantage Tire and Alignment prices just can't be beat. Stop in and see Bruce and the crew today. Advantage Tire and Alignment.
He's starting to get some decent looks on the ground as he gets across the 40 close to an I-Care Alabama first down, as that'll be about an 8-yard gain to set up a 3rd down and 1, but time ticking away here as we're approaching 2.5 minutes left in the football game.
I don't know. It seems like Cherokee County is not getting penetration like they normally do. I don't know if Coach seen that or, he's running out of time, but there's the deep ball right there.
Deep ball toward Bethel, a jump ball, and that's going to be knocked down incomplete. So you had Alex Johnson helping out, Jace Turner among others.
Should have been picked, but I still don't like the fact that safety lets the receiver get behind the corner and cover 2, and the receiver gets behind the cornerback. He should be on top of the receiver instead of undercutting it, and because if that ball is tipped, it's surely going to be a touchdown. 4th down and 1 as Jordan needs a yard and cannot get back to the line of scrimmage. As that'll be a 4th down stop. As Carnejo, along with Rogers and others, will put the finishing touches as far as a solid defensive effort for Cherokee County here at the Field of Champions. 2 minutes, 10 seconds remaining in tonight's ball game as Piedmont going down tonight for the first time this season in Jonathan Miller's coaching debut, but they ran up even at home against a tough opponent tonight, and you still have to think good things coming for this program under a solid coach, and especially following up in the footsteps of a legend in Steve Smith. Yeah, absolutely. They've had a good showing, and it's a lot of great things you can take from the game, to build on.
Here's Woods on the call. And let's not forget, for about the last, 12 years down at Sachs High School, Jonathan Miller developed Sachs into a rock-solid, consistent program in Class 3A, a program that regularly made deep runs in the playoffs, including, remember, 2 years ago, a game they almost took from one of Steve Smith's best Piedmont teams.
Absolutely. I mean, they consistently made runs in the playoffs. So
probably a couple more snaps tonight as Griffith's OK Tire and Center presents our 4th quarter. Infinity Docks, our FNN game of the week, as Carnejo gets the call and the I-Care Alabama first down to close out this ball game. So I don't think you'll be seeing either one of these teams stop the clock, as this is the at least final tune-up week for both of these teams before they begin region play next week. For Piedmont, they'll go on the road at Sylvania for their first region game of 2023. And it'll be a trip for Cherokee County to Good Hope in Coleman County next week for their first region game in Class 4A, Region 6. And Piedmont, of course, in Class 3A, Region 6. Clock under 50 seconds. Probably a couple more snaps. And you can take this one to the house and for the road for Keyshawn Woods, as he'll get close to the goal line, and he's just shy of the goal line. A big-time I-Care Alabama first down.
Absolutely. I thought he got in now.
Keyshawn Woods was trying to make it his 2nd touchdown of the night, as Owen saved a touchdown in the final seconds of the game. And so let's see if Jacob Kelly decides to take a knee or if Cherokee County will punch one more score in before heading back up Highway 9. 35.7 seconds remaining. As we'll have, looks like the chain gang setting up just one more time this evening, as Cherokee County will improve their record to 2-0. And really, Eddie, a very solid blue-collar, workmanlike, but nonetheless impressive road win at Piedmont tonight.
Absolutely.
So it looks as if the victory formation coming up for Cherokee County and those white tops and bottoms as the road team. They'll huddle around. And no, they'll just go right up the middle with Tay Diamond as he'll add one more score to take it back as far as the winning margin to Cherokee County.
Oh, that's really a rivalry right there. He punched that thing in.
I think, Jonathan Miller and company are going to remember that for next year when they go back up to center as Tay Diamond scores his first touchdown of the inning of the ball game, rather. A 1-yard plunge.
Absolutely. They will definitely remember that.
That is something to keep in mind for next year.
And I guess they're making up because how many years it's been since they won?
Well, it was prior to last year, remember. 10 consecutive meetings as Ben Frampton's PAT kick is no good. We'll take the timeout. 32 seconds remaining, 26-7, Cherokee County on top. So a 1-yard touchdown plunge off of the scoring drive that went into the Ethan Rogers Alpha Insurance Agency red zone for Cherokee County. As Tay Diamond plunged in from 1 yard out, and we'll have one more Law Pools kickoff, as it'll be pool time for a lot of you as far as this Labor Day weekend, and really kind of the final weeks as far as the summer hot weather here in the state of Alabama, as Frampton squibs it along our near sideline. And getting driven out of bounds is Mohan across the 40 to about the 43-yard line. And there you see some extracurricular activity, a little woofing as far as both of these teams are concerned. Big thanks to all of our sponsors, including Morrow Tire and Auto, for providing us our replay looks. Tires, oil changes, brakes, tune-ups, a lot more that Morrow Tire and Auto here in Piedmont provide for you. Griffith's OK Tire presents our fourth quarter, and we have just 25 seconds in change, so a couple of plays or so for Piedmont until we come to the finish line of tonight's ball game. We'll be over on 278, at least west of here on 278 in Hoax Bluff for the first region game of the season. Class 3A Region 6 opponents and rivals, Hoax Bluff and Glencoe. It'll be Jordan getting slammed down at the line of scrimmage, as there you see our game of the week next week, and Tay Diamond coming up with what will be the game's final tackle of the evening. Solid performance for Cherokee County. Really, a few mistakes, not nearly enough as far as putting them in any sort of danger on the road tonight. As a blue-collar, workmanlike victory for the Cherokee County Warriors as they improve to 2-0 and make it 2 in a row over Piedmont in this fierce rivalry. Your final score, Cherokee County 26 and Piedmont 7. Infinity Docks presents our FNN Game of the Week. We'll take this time out, begin our post-game, and wrap it up from the field to the champions.
Reallyville Real Estate, serving Calhoun and surrounding areas. I am your local agent here supporting your local community, and I am a proud sponsor. Reallyville Real Estate, serving Calhoun and surrounding areas. I am your local agent here supporting your local community, and I am a proud sponsor of the Friday Night Network. I am so excited to get to watch all the local athletes on Friday nights from the sidelines. To all of our band members, football players, cheerleaders, and coaches, good luck and have a great and safe season.
Get the look of summer year-round at Sunkissed Tanning in Alexandria. Life's an adventure. Adjust as you go. It's the time of year when your schedule is busier than ever. You'll find level 4 bronzing beds, spray tanning, or a tanning booth to meet all your tanning needs. Refer 3 friends and get a free visit. With school back in, maintain your summer color with a full line of enhancer lotions. You'll also find extended hours during the season. Call 256-403-6014 or follow us on Instagram and Facebook for special offers. Sunkissed Tanning, Suite E in the shopping center next to Foodland in Alexandria.
Your neighborhood Grub Mart is your one-stop shop for everything you need when you're on the go. Grub Mart features the best prices on Coke and Pepsi products and is the home to the 99-cent bag of ice every day. And Grub Mart is your exclusive home for the popcorn bucket. Purchase yours for only $5.99, then bring it for free refills throughout the year. And save every day with your Grub Mart Super Saver card. When you're on the go, it's good to know Grub Mart has everything you need. Gas, diesel, and delicious Oleo donuts. In business over 78 years, visit your local Grub Mart today.
The Calhoun County Commission, made up of Fred Wilson, Danny Shears, Carolyn Henderson, Terry Howell, and Lee Patterson, ask you to take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. Our beautiful parks, neighborhoods, recreational facilities, historic sites, and museums. Our citizens enjoy a high quality of life and strongly support the arts. If you're considering expanding or starting a new business, take a look at Calhoun County. You'll be glad you did.
The Food Barn in Raglan offers the best in good old-fashioned hometown service when you're shopping for groceries, plus the latest ways to get great food specials your way. Click on RaglanFoodBarn.com. Follow the Food Barn on Facebook and listen to the River for weekly specials.
Where you can get everything you need from down on the farm and it won't cost you a leg or an arm.
And they're open 7 days a week. For the best cuts on quality meats, great service, and great prices, it's the Food Barn in Raglan.
At Farmers and Merchants Bank, we're showing off our school spirit with our newly designed vertical Spirit debit cards. Now, these are customized with your favorite school's logo, and half of every Spirit card purchased goes toward your school. So, show off your colors and support your local school with the FNN Spirit debit card. You can learn more at fnn.bank. Member FDIC.
Beginning our post-game coverage here at the Field of Champions, where Cherokee County comes in to the Field of Champions and just wears down the Piedmont Bulldogs and Coach Jonathan Miller's Piedmont debut. Cherokee County led 13-7 at halftime and then used really a strong physical offense and defense to pull away 26-7 as they had a couple of touchdown runs from Jacob Carnejo, as well as touchdowns each from Tay Diamond and Keyshawn Woods. We'll take a look at least our highlights later on as far as our post-game, but we'll take a look at what has gone on around the state of Alabama and our area. And first off, very down-to-the-wire ball game, just not too far from here, as Weaver and Glencoe going at it, and Glencoe has a 17-14 lead in the fourth quarter.
Absolutely, and how about Watley leading Ramburn 35? The last score we have 35-7 at half.
And what I was very impressed with as well when we were looking at the scores, Ohatchee going on to the Hill as far as their road trip, albeit not a very lengthy one, but still a tough road trip for them, to Walter Welburn, and being able to lead them, at last report, 30-0?
Hey, that's a tough one right there. And then How about Leeds? We talked about Pell City and Leeds, and right now, late in the fourth quarter, Leeds, they've been swapping Leeds, but Leeds is leading them 30-20.
I think no matter what happens for Rush Probst's Pell City Panthers down the stretch tonight, that they've already shown against two of the best teams in 5A last year that this is a drastically improved Pell City squad, and that they ought to be very competitive in region play, which, of course, begins next week.
Absolutely. Old dog with old tricks.
Oh, and Jacksonville pretty much leading wire to wire tonight against Alexandria, as Jacksonville having their final tune-up before they get into Class 4A Region 4 play next week.
Okay, and the last report I seen with Anniston and Andalusia, I think Andalusia ended up winning that game 32-0.
Obviously tough having to go all the way down to the very tip of South Alabama for Anniston. And then, of course, a lot of emotions coming off of the quarterfinal round playoff loss at home last year for Anniston.
Well, playing the defending state champs, that's just a tough game. That's just a tough situation for a new coach.
And a tough road environment to go to Andalusia for a program, any program, but even a program like Anniston. So all across the state of Alabama, we'll have region play start next week, and we'll take a look at our game highlights after this timeout. It is Infinity Docks presenting our FNN Game of the Week, 26-7 in favor of Cherokee County this evening.
Located in Alexandria, Alabama, Ron's Barbecue is now back open 10 to 8 Wednesday through Sunday. A local family-owned and operated business, Ron's is providing slow-smoked ribs, barbecue chicken, and more. Known for the huge buffalo chicken tenders and the delicious smash burger, Ron's is perfect for the family night out or a lunchtime meeting. Come on out and try Calhoun County's newest local barbecue restaurant.
Your neighborhood Grub Mart is your one-stop shop for everything you need when you're on the go. Grub Mart features the best prices on Coke and Pepsi products and is the home to the 99-cent bag of ice every day. And Grub Mart is your exclusive home for the popcorn bucket. Purchase yours for only $5.99, then bring it for free refills throughout the year. And save every day with your Grub Mart Super Saver Card. When you're on the go, it's good to know Grub Mart has everything you need. Gas, diesel, and delicious Oleo donuts. In business over 78 years, visit your local Grub Mart today.
The Calhoun County Commission, made up of Fred Wilson, Danny Shears, Carolyn Henderson, Terry Howell, and Lee Patterson, ask you to take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. Our beautiful parks, neighborhoods, recreational facilities, historic sites, and museums. Our citizens enjoy a high quality of life and strongly support the arts. If you're considering expanding or starting a new business, take a look at Calhoun County. You'll be glad you did.
We come to you from the Field of Champions as your final score is Cherokee County 26 and Piedmont 7, spoiling the Piedmont head coaching debut, at least in the regular season, for Coach Jonathan Miller. As Cherokee County trailed just once in the first quarter, but other than that, the Warriors really controlled this ball game as far as how this game was played. They were physical from the very start and just overwhelmed Piedmont, especially up front throughout this ball game. So we take a look at the highlights from tonight. You'll see just how well the offensive line for Cherokee County performed on the Morrow Tire and Auto replay. This was a 4th and 3 from the 4-yard line as Jacob Cornejo was able to go right into the end zone after a couple of defenders for Piedmont for the touchdown, his first of two, and then just 2 plays later, it was Cole Wilson showing off his arm and Ishmael Bethel his speed for a 62-yard touchdown, and that gave Piedmont their only lead of the evening at 7-6. And then right at the very next drive, you have Carnejo running off the right side, and that right side of the offensive line, Eddie, was very dominant for the Warriors.
Well, you know which way they were going, and I think, this Carnejo kid, I mean, he had to have over 200 yards rushing it, easily.
Keyshawn Woods with a 13-yard touchdown. And then excellent defense as far as that run blitz by Cooper Rogers. And also, you'll see later on, the Cherokee County defense very opportunistic as far as when they were able to get turnovers. And they were also able to get some pressure on Cole Wilson, as here's the first of 3 turnovers this evening for Piedmont. A Cooper Rogers interception, as you had a block in the back foul after the interception. And then this was one of the few times that we saw Carson Tittle have to throw, and he found Ben Frampton on a 3rd and 15 underneath pattern for the first down.
That was a great scramble right there, a little sidearm flick.
But it was that offensive line controlling the line of scrimmage against a really good defensive front for Piedmont, as Keyshawn Woods was able to go off the right side and get a big gain that time into the red zone. As this was an outstanding play, a little bag of tricks in the playbook for Jacob Kelly, but an illegal shift wiped off that touchdown to Ben Mosley. That was a Jacob Carnejo really wildcat pass that time. I'm sure we'll be seeing that at key times throughout the season for Cherokee County. Cole Wilson, who showed some promise tonight, but still a lot of raw ability on the football field, as he had a pretty good pass that time to McLean Mohan, who got lit up by Jace Turner.
Well, you got a personal conduct call right there for taunting.
Yeah, that was an unsportsmanlike conduct flag, but this was one of the biggest plays of the night, belonging to Hayden Wheeler, as he just took the ball away. A well-thrown ball to McLean Mohan, as that ball was just simply taken away.
That's a grown man play, James.
And speaking of grown man plays, we saw plenty of this tonight, and this closed out the ball game essentially, as Keyshawn Woods nearly took it in from 46 yards out. Set up a 1st and goal from the 1, and Tay Diamond, all-state at defensive end last year, rushed it in from a yard out to close out the scoring and the game tonight. As it was Cherokee County getting their 2nd consecutive win in the rivalry. As here you see Jacob Kelly, really, Eddie, one of your industries as far as the coaching industry at the high school level in this state, one of, not regardless of classification in my mind, Eddie, one of Alabama's rising coaching stars in the high school ranks.
Absolutely, and I mean, you have to give him kudos and, hats off to him, because, he's enjoying what he's doing. He's, kind of reviving a program that's traditionally been good, and he's kind of interjecting that fire and that spirit back into him, and I love it, man. I love it. I just like what he's doing and the energy he has. Speaking of energy, we saw the energy as far as their fans packing out the visiting side at the Field of Champions, albeit a short drive for them down Highway 9, but you're seeing just the momentum, the energy, as you mentioned, Eddie, in the program. This is quickly becoming, in Class 4A, not only one of the top programs, but really, with what Jacob Kelly has been laying as far as that foundation, a powerhouse program in this state. And you know what I hope, too? I hope that, that they just keep playing this rivalry every year with these coaches. And, it's as packed out as it is, it just gives you that feeling. And I can understand. I can tell you Coach Kelly probably won't go to sleep tonight until about 3 o'clock, because he has to wind down. And I wouldn't count out even this year Piedmont as far as Jonathan Miller, but a lot of growing pains still to go through, Eddie. Listen, man, Piedmont made a great showing tonight. I mean, you talking about a great team that runs the football, and then you talking about a program that has a new coach and a new system, and they learning him. Oh, man, hats off to him. Absolutely. Our final score, Cherokee County 26, Piedmont 7. We'll wrap it up after this.
Bama Sheds and Pole Barns. Locally and family owned with the best customer service. Custom built to fit your needs with free delivery and setup. Design and price online or stop by and see what we can do for you. Nobody beats our prices and nobody beats our quality. Built in Alabama, made in Alabama. BamaSheds.com.
Now under new owners Scott and Valerie Farah, come experience the scenic wonders and improvements at Cherokee Pines Golf Club. This challenging 18-hole semi-private golf club is located just off Highway 9 outside Center. There's been many course improvements under Superintendent Heath Hammond, new bunkers, maintenance equipment, and new golf carts. Step up your game with individual or group lessons from managing pro Eddie Jackson. Our stock pro shop and spacious clubhouse round out a perfect day of golf. Bring a group of friends, tee it up, and see for yourself. Cherokee Pines Golf Club. At iCare Alabama, our goal is to meet the needs of every patient. Dr. Dwayne Mohan and Dr. Ryan Price always strive for excellent outcomes. We want each patient to get the best vision and medical care possible. At iCare Alabama, we utilize all the latest technological advances to ensure that you receive the best quality eye care. So call for an appointment at any of our 4 locations in Piedmont, Heflin, Roanoke, or Atala and see the difference. Most insurance is accepted. iCare Alabama. Efficient, effective eye care close to home.
Joe Biden and Hunter Biden were paid $10 million in bribes.
The floodgates are literally open here.
Mike Rogers is standing up to crooked Joe Biden in D.C. Mike Rogers is our way of fighting back.
One final look at the Field of Champions as we close things out for our FNN High School Football Game of the Week, brought to you by Infinity Docks, as you can give them a call for all of your marine needs when it comes to your boat or dock needs. At the number you saw on your screen, and also taking a look at what we have for you this week. Of course, the FNN Tuesday Night Coaches Show coming up from Struts Wings in Oxford. Join us for some good food and football discussion, as we'll take a look ahead to the first region week of the season, leading up to our first region game of the year on Friday, next Friday, that is 6:30 airtime, 7 o'clock kickoff as per usual. And we'll be not too far away from the Field of Champions, over west on Highway 278. Hoax Bluff taking on their next door neighbor rival when it comes to the Glencoe Yellow Jackets. So should have a fierce battle over in Hoax Bluff next week. One of those two teams looking to get off to a good start in region play next week. A big thanks to all of our sponsors, quite a few of them, as we certainly appreciate all of our sponsors helping us out this week and every week on the FNN High School Football Game of the Week. For Jim Jacobs, for Coach Eddie Bullock, and all of our FNN crew, James Hardy signing off as your final score, Cherokee County 26 and Piedmont 7, as you have been watching a presentation of the FNN High School Football Game of the Week, brought to you this week by Infinity Docks.